All right, and we are live. Let me get it all set up. Ooh, excuse me. Hold on a second. Let's see here. Hello, Parker. How you doing? How you doing? I hope I can get this working for me. Come on. There we go. I'm mad angry right now. The Ole Miss lost to Miami last night. Really? Pulled Oregon Ducks to beat Indiana. Oregon versus Miami. Oregon Ducks. You repeated a lot there, Parker, but like I said, I understand some of the. I need to fix that a little bit. I understand some of the anger because I was also rooting for Ole Miss. I would have loved for Ole Miss to win, but of course they did not. Actually, fix it a little bit better, so it's not as big. It's a little too much. I think it's close to what it was before. Move it over. There we go. All right. So being at midfield to the coin toss. Obviously, yes, I didn't want Ole Miss to win, but I'm fine with Miami winning. It was a great game, absolutely outstanding game. Plus, also love the Oregon uniforms. I think they're the best uniforms. But Miami ends up winning that game. Ole Miss almost had a chance. Do I think that it should have been pass interference? In that moment, I get the not calling it. I kind of understand like the fact that like you don't want to have Miami's last time they went to the Fiesta Bowl, their season ended because of what they thought they had to win and then they pass interference. So I'm sure that goes through the minds of the refs. But at the same time, Miami definitely deserved to win that game. Both of them had amazing games. It's just unfortunate that somebody had to lose. I'm hoping this game is going to be just as good. Hey, look at Jonathan Stewart. Just realized Jonathan Stewart over there. Jonathan Stewart, the former Oregon Duck, back in what 07, because I think he was a rookie in 2008. But right now they are doing a coin toss to see who wins. Indiana, as I have my red shirt on. How in the world did it go all the way over there? All right, so Indiana has the ball. They're going to defer to the second half. I get you, Parker. I get you. If Oregon wins, it'll be great for them. Obviously, like I said, they have never won a national championship. Neither has Indiana. Obviously, Oregon has. They fall short every single time. Shout out to Auburn and also to Ohio State. Which is kind of interesting too, like the fact that like Oregon has had some really great seasons, but unfortunately they've never been able to like really like deliver. And so this is an interesting game for them because obviously like early on in the season, well, like close to the mid part of the season, they lost to Indiana. They lost the season, 30-20, and Indiana was able to really stop their running game. Which I'll talk about the last game, but talk about more so this game. If that kind of happens same time as now, is if Indiana can stop the run game, they can get after Dante Moore, make it more uncomfortable. Like I think Indiana still wins this game. It's because of the fact that you've already played each other, you've already had different things. So what kind of adjustments are you going to make the second time around? It's been a while, so that definitely helps the situation where like these still are kind of different teams because you have different teams within different parts of the season. But I'm still feel confident with Indiana, and there is a whole lot of red. Good Lord, there is so much more red. There is a lot of red. Well, Broncos football going to be depends on who they face off in the division. Um, I I don't think I think that their matchup will run out. I like unfortunately for Brandon Fernandez, he's a Broncos fan, but in my mind, the Broncos offense has too many problems that I'm starting to see that depending on who they match up well, and that's with, at that time, I think that was when either C.J. Stroud got hurt, he got banged up, and he had Davis Mills come out there, or what Steelers, and it'll see they'll play the Broncos. That's going to be a tough matchup for the Patriots. Can they, take the lead against the Broncos this year? I don't know. In my mind, like I said, I think Broncos make it. I'm a Panthers fan through and through. Would it be interesting for the Panthers to make it to the Super Bowl in the third year of the thing with like if Ohio State wins the national championship the year before and we play Jacksonville Jaguars at the beginning of the season and then we make the Super Bowl like we had the last two times. I don't really care about that, but anyways, shotgun formation 20-yard line. Drops back to pass. Dante Moore throws to the left side and is picked off for a pick six. Oh my gosh. Well, Indiana, thanks so much for being, even like, it's like 11 seconds into the game. 11 seconds into the game. And one of I forgot to mention, sorry, in the pre-thing. One of my favorite nickels in this draft, Pons. Like, he is so good. He's been good the last couple years, especially he kind of showed off a little bit in JMU 3 seasons ago, and then no 2 seasons ago because last season was still at Indiana because he left with Kirk Cignetti. Like I think he can do really well in the NFL. I'm interested to see how he's going to do, like especially like in the combine is how fast a person can do all this kind of stuff, but I'm waiting to hear more from how he does in interviews, how he does and other kind of stuff to see like where I think he could potentially go. In my mind, I see Pons as a like highest potential like mid second round pick because like as much people love like playing as a nickel in their base, especially in the NFL. Like I think he could be drafted high to maybe top of round four. If there's or early third, but Pons he's really doing good. Just has that pick six right there. So already 7-0 already. Brother, what's happening, Ryan Green? Just came here to join the game in the college football playoff with you. What's popping? Nothing too much. Nothing too much. I had a great week of work, and now I'm just sitting here, just relaxing, hoping to see a good game. Like I said, yesterday was an amazing game. Ole Miss versus Miami. Obviously, I wanted Ole Miss to win. They didn't win anything, but at the same time, I will take a great game over anything. This one so far, Indiana is kind of crushing it right now. So, but maybe Dante Moore can come back swinging, and this will be like a great storyline for him of like his first pass was a pick six, and now he's going on a run. But I'm interested to see because I know I didn't mention this before too. I mentioned the fact that Indiana was able to stop the run the last time around, and they were able to get to Dante Moore. They had like 6 sacks, so like I'm interested to see like if they're going to get like a little more pressure on him because right there was more just it was just like a great play by Pons picking that off, um, like jumping the route, but I don't know. Let's see here. First down, 10 from the 20-yard line, 14:49 left to go this first quarter, 7-0. Going to be a toss to Whittingham. He's going to try the left side. He's going to get up to about the 29-yard line, gain about 4 yards there. Sorry, I mentioned not the 20-yard line, 25-yard line. So gain about 4 yards there. Second out 6. Is Lane Kiffin mad and angry that Ole Miss football lost to Miami? No, because like I said, he's actually is happy now that he has his coordinator. So he is not in fact mad. He is actually happy that he actually can have all of his coaches there with him. Second down 6, shotgun formation. Running back 2 is left. And going to be a handoff to the running back who's going to try the right side. He's going to try to get the edge. Stiff arms the dude. Get the first down. Gain of about 5. First down take for Oregon. Hello everybody. Hello there, Dobie. How you doing? Can't believe Indiana got pick 6 in starting the first quarter. Seriously, those defenses are electrifying. Yes, they are. They're really greatly coached teams. You can obviously tell that on offense and on defense. I'm surprised they haven't already, especially after what Indiana did last year. If they don't get any kind of looks like this year, about a 12-yard gain, first down 10 for the Oregon Ducks. Is it? Hold a second, Luke. Are you being for real? Because you obviously know I don't have Instagram and stuff like that. So are you being for real? Or are you just saying that to try to take me off, Luke? Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because I really don't want that to happen. Goodness gracious. Is Pete Golden going to LSU too? No. He's going to be the head coach. So Pete Golden is the head coach. They had some of like the coaches they were going to be having later on at the game. It'll be Hampton running back who's going to try to do the 50-yard line down to the 49. So gain there about 3 yards. Second down 7. You're being for real? Luke, please don't tell me you're being for real. Cam Cole, Luke is a Bama fan. Luke and I are friends. Please tell me that he's lying. Shotgun formation, run back to his left. Draws back to pass. We're going to drop by Johnson. Third down 7. 12-17. Please, please, please don't tell me that Cam Coleman is going to Bama. Is going to Bama. Back to this game. Third down 7, 12-17. Going to send Sadiq into motion over to the right. Running back to the left of Moore. Draws back to pass. Get immediate pressure. Throws, and that's going to be caught up to the 45, up to the 40-yard line. First down 10 for Oregon. God. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. First down 10 from the 40-yard line. Dante Moore under center. Running back in the backfield. Going to be a handoff to the running back who's going to be going ahead. Just to take a little swig. Take a little swig of a little Gatorade. Just definitely doesn't hurt that Cam Coleman just went to Bama. Definitely does not hurt. Second down 7, 11 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Going to be a handoff to the running back who's going to be up to about 35 and down at the 33-yard line. So nice game there. It'll be third down and 3. It's okay, Dobie. It's okay. It can always be a third down and 3. That just ruined my night, dude. Pass. And is going to check it out the running back who's going to get the first down up to the 27-yard line. First down 10 for Oregon. Is Trinidad Chambliss going to be quarterback for Ole Miss football next year? Well, he was denied by the NCAA. I do know that there has been reports that him and his lawyers have had a contingency plan in case that did happen. So I would assume that you'll be able to see that over the next couple of weeks, especially like if him trying to fight, trying to be gain eligibility. But it's still up in the air. Still up in the air for Parker for Trinidad Chambliss. First down, 10 to the 28-yard line. Going to be a keeper by Dante Moore up the middle to the 25, down to the 23, 22-yard line. Nice game there. Second down about 5. Luke, you. Second down to 4. 8:55. I'm not happy with you, Luke. Second down to 4, under center. Running back's like 8 yards back. Good lord. Play action pass. Got to roll it to his right. Going to throw to Sadiq, who's going to get the first down up to about the 17-yard line. First down 10 for Oregon. Luke, I'm going to call you later on tonight, and I'm going to have some words to say. That was wrong of you, and you know it. That was wrong of you, you know it. If Cam Coleman, I'll talk about more. I'll talk about more at the commercial break. 8:05 to go in the first quarter. First down 10, and we're gonna have to call a timeout. They had to call a timeout. How are you not? I don't know how you don't have your play call in. I don't. Anyways, they literally just showed. That was funny to be honest. No, it wasn't, Luke. It wasn't, Luke. Okay, it wasn't. Imagine I told you that the Spurs had traded like Fox or traded like somebody else. I know you found it funny there, Luke, but it is not funny to me, Luke. So don't do it. Joe Aguilar going to be quarterback for Tennessee football next year. I'm pretty sure he is, right? I don't think. I think he has 1 more year eligibility, right? Because he's fifth year. I think Joey Aguilar is back. Um, but I'm not sure. I'm not for sure. like that was really not funny. I'm really that fumble that cost the game. Um, I know that the Iron Bowl will be in Alabama. He will still get a whole lot of boos. Like he needs to go to different places as far as better rival. Where you are from Alabama. Well, he's like I said from Phoenix City, so you know about the Iron Bowl. If things don't go well for you at Alabama, and if you have other problems at Alabama, Aiden Holloway, but at the same time, you also are going to make a whole lot of toxic Alabama fans hate you as well. So just and you just make big old bucks. Just do that. Just do that. Is Carson Beck going to be the quarterback for Miami Hurricanes? No. Which is the reason why there are still some big name transfer quarterbacks who are kind of still waiting in the wings. They're like, well, yeah, I can wait. So yeah, 17-yard line under center. This is a three tight end set. That's a Sadiq in the motion. Going to be a hand to the running back who's going to try the right side. He's actually going to lose about 2 yards. Second down, 12 from the 19-yard line for Oregon. 7:55 to go the first quarter. Yeah. I can't remember if Joey Aguilar does have one more year or not, but I think he does. And then I know Carson Beck is done. Because Miami is going to be looking for their third straight transfer quarterback. Yeah, it's quarterback draft class, so like there's potentially could be a second round pick, but I would be surprised. Shotgun formation, trips to the left, running back to his right, drops back to pass, and they're rushing three. He's got a wheel route there. 7:19, not 7:19, 7:16 left to go in the first quarter. It's going to be third down and 12. Again, Oregon's had a long drive after that pick six, so Indiana hasn't even, like, literally just showing the time possession. I mean, Indiana hasn't even gotten on the field yet. So, but let's see here. And they're really just showing Indiana's offensive on the side. Touchdown to Johnson. 7-11, always open, left to go in the first quarter, and it's going to be tied up ball game after this extra point by Oregon. By throwing that pick six, absolutely. But it came on back, tied up the ball game. Now Indiana's offense will have a chance to try. Also got to be extra careful. And kick is up, and it is going to be good. Barely, though. I don't know if you could just tell by the stream, but when Luke spread that rumor that Cam Coleman was going to Bama, and so it was confirmed, I had a absolute pit in my stomach and felt a whole bunch of rage. So I'm glad it didn't happen, but hopefully it doesn't happen. I don't care what the insiders say until it's confirmed. I don't care. Until it's confirmed, I do not care. I do not want Cam Coleman to go to Alabama. Just throwing that one out. Throwing that one out. We're just not going to talk. The pick six is a great play so far because Indiana's offense hadn't even taken a snap yet. So Oregon's offense in Oregon, and then Indiana kind of running some more three-man fronts, kind of drop Nate. I guess they're hoping to kind of be able to get Dante Moore's eyes. Like like him. I would like Indiana to show a little more blitz. Try to get him off his game. Force Dante Moore kind of throw some errant throws like he just did with the pick six. For hitters, trying to make sure that NES pass rush can get to Dante Moore. But actually, I'm thinking that of you know that Cam Cole thing kind of throwing me off. He's doing a pretty good job as far as like rebounding after making a mistake. So I can't say that I like her. All right, India, Oregon Ducks. There's like part of me that, nah, not really. Like I know like Auburn and also like a lot of other teams are like the uniform like purity, like a uniform combo. Like even if you just like I don't know. I mean, why not just like I don't? Some people really hated it, but I really like the Yeah, there are Russells, so that definitely helps too when like from. So it's like kind of like pride. I know a lot of Auburn fans definitely don't, but I definitely do. There'll be a 1 yard gain off to the left side. First down, second down, 9 for Indiana. You asked me. How am I supposed? I don't know. I told you I don't know Parker. I don't know who she is. I have no idea who she is. Quick throw, and that's going to be caught by Surratt, who's going to get to about the 31-yard line. Cavender not ringing the bell besides Cavender seasoning, so I literally have no idea what you talked about. Third down 4, 6:15 left to go in the first quarter. Still 7-7. Shotgun formation with run back to his right. Drops back a pass, getting a blitz, and picks it up, throws. After be a great grab by Surratt. Goodness gracious. DB draped all over him. He still caught that ball. First down 10 for Indiana. Surratt is just so good. He's really stinking good. From the 46-yard line, his formation. Going to be a handoff to the running back who's going to try the middle. Gets up to about the 42. So nice again there, 4 yards. Second down 6. And he's going to get a little bit of a breather. So far, it's had a pretty decent drive. By like what 3 or 4 carries for about a good bit of yards. Probably about 3 or 4 yards pop. 5:05 to go in the first quarter. Second down 6. Shotgun formation. Running back to his left. Leads false start. Yeah, false start on the offense. I think on the right tackle. Yes, it is. False start on Benson. So it's going to be was it 5 yard? Yeah, so it's going to be second down and 11. 5:57 left to go in the first quarter. He literally moved because like Ualongle just basically just moved his leg. That going to be a handsome running back who's going to get basically up to the 42-yard line when they were before. All right, they're pushing and shoving, so he's going to get to the 40-yard line. So it'll be a little more manageable. Third down and 4. I'm sorry. So they just showed a stat on the screen that said that Indiana had 6 false starts against Oregon last time. Yeah, because it's in Oregon. It's on the road. That I hated. I hated that side. So like nitpicky. Like, hey, did you know they did that a lot last time? Yeah, she let it go in the first quarter. The one thing that there are some things that I don't like about Francisco Mendoza as Francisco. Um, Absolutely just stare down a wide receiver, and obviously, like I said, there's gonna be some tweaks so I'd make to his game when it makes to the pros, but still. But I mean, Hanson running back who's going to try the middle. He's going to get to about the 30-yard line. So nice gain. Oh, that should 29-yard line. So nice gain there about 6 yards. Second down and 4 for the Indiana Hoosiers. And now Ray's going to need a little bit of a breather. Looks like he's kind of like holding his shoulder kind of weird. Well, it's more like his arm kind of weird a little bit. Just got to get that one checked out. 3:01 left to go in the first quarter. Second down and 4. Shotgun formation. That should be a false start. How the wide receiver moved? Anyways, Hanson run because the 20-yard line down about the 18-yard line. That's the first moved. Like he did like a hiccup. Anyways, first down 10. I mean, great job there by Indiana, but still. First down 10 from the 17-yard line. Shotgun formation. Oh, they're marking him at the 2. Oh, man, I thought it was going to be scored. Anyways, Himby is going to be getting up to like the 2 or 3-yard line. Let's make sure here. It's a bug sweep. Run it perfectly, and 6 or the 7-yard line. 6. Shotgun formation. Himby to his left. Going to be handoff. Who's going to be at the line? Great job there. He's going to lose a yard. So it'll be second goal from about the 7. Hello there, man. What's been popping, y'all? How's the game been? Is Indiana winning? Because that's what I want to happen. Right now, Indiana's tied, but they are knocking on the Door second and goal from about the 8 yard line. Actually, the last 2 yards. Um, the game started off with a pick six by Indiana. D'Angelo Pons picked that ball off 20 yards, returned it back, and then Oregon had a long, sustainable drive, like a 13 play drive that took up half the quarter and scored a touchdown. But now Indiana's at the 8 yard line, second and goal. Shotgun formation with running back to his left, going to be a throw for the end zone and touch. Great release. No, actually, sorry, Amari Cooper. I'm so sorry. I was Amari Cooper. Um, both great wide receivers. I like Sherrod a little bit better, but Amari Cooper, great release, and great throw by Mendoza. So Indiana retakes the lead, 13-7 with 40 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Obviously, extra point and trying to get a 7 point game, but it's been a good game so far. A little more high scoring than I thought in the first quarter, but I will take another great game. I'm hoping for another great game. We had an amazing game last time, so let's hope for another one. Ooh, yeah, no, that's just one. I was thinking for a second for 2 feet catch for NFL, and I was like, wait, they didn't review that. No, wait, no, that's up. So it is 14-7, 40 seconds left to go in the first quarter, and Mendoza continues his great season. But it's been great. I will say this, Emmanuel, you did miss. Unless you look back through the messages, you can see that Luke tried to troll me. I didn't try to. He was successful. Where he said that Cam Coleman was going to Bama, and it was confirmed. And I asked him to make sure that please don't tell me that you're joking, and then he wanted to confirm it. And then that's all I could think about for about a good 5 or so minutes before he. I I really didn't think it would happen, and I've heard even more and more and more that it's a possibility. And I'm like, please, for all the love that I try to give this world, please don't let like one of the people that I loved watching on Auburn go to a rival team, and where the storyline would literally be that he fumbled the game away in Alabama's favor, and then he jets off to Alabama. Um, Instead of just focusing on the good times, if he literally goes to Bama, that will be the legacy that he leads. Is the fact that yes, you had great times, but also your last play is a fumble, and then you just like I said, you like your parents are like your family lives in Alabama or Georgia, depends like the Phoenix City, Columbus area. Like don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. It is. I'm not going to feel that way, but I know that there are a lot of Auburn toxic Auburn. It's going to be really bad. Oh, gosh. Yeah, that hit me like a truck. It hit me like a truck. I felt like an 18 wheeler just worth. I personally feel like the end of the regular season to start college play needs to be shortened. 2 to 3 weeks is more than enough rest time. 1 month and not playing a full speed game is basically a death sentence. Shorten the darn gap. So I'll talk about more of the and then I do think that some of it is true that it needs to be shortened, but I think that people are arguing about the wrong thing. That's mainly my point. So it goes in the end zone for a touchback. So first down 10 for one. So I'll talk about it in a second. Shotgun formation, running back to his left, and gonna be Hampton. They'll probably run one more play. It's like 25 seconds right now. They have enough time, but they could just literally just take it to the. No, they'll probably run another play so they can get some more time to kind of talk about their third down play. So second down 6, 13 seconds. Checking out the line. 4, 3, 2, 1, and it goes to the second quarter. So, mentioning what you said before there, Emmanuel, here's my thought process. So, I've mentioned before that when they started talking about it, and they started talking about the fact that, oh, well, the teams on bye are losing. Okay, probably the teams on bye. And it was 0-6. I mentioned the fact that last year's people who were on buys, you're not taking a lot into consideration. like I said that the Oregon one made sense. Oregon one made sense. But I said at the same exact time, yes, Oregon won the Big Ten championship game. They had the first overall. They had the first overall seed. But then they had to play Ohio State. Ohio State ends up winning the national championship that year. Two, Oregon had beaten Ohio State the year before, so it's hard to be a team twice. Not only they came off hot, but also Oregon was giving them a miracle to be able to come back in that game. So Oregon makes total sense. Georgia, the number 2 seed. Georgia literally came in so injured because of the fact that, if you remember, Carson Beck had gotten injured in the SEC championship game, like right before halftime. Gunnar Stockton came in, basically led them into overtime, but he was also injured, got knocked out of the game. So they had to bring back Carson Beck in to hand the ball off with a injured shoulder for Georgia to win that game and secure the number 2 seed. So they were limping into the playoffs even as a number 2 seed. They still had amazing defense, but they were limping into the playoffs. And then they go up against Notre Dame, who also ends up making it all the way to the national championship game. So going against a great team with a battered quarterback that couldn't do anything against that good defense. So yeah, I think the Georgia one is not so much a take too long to play. In fact, I think it actually helped because it tried to get your quarterback healthy. Like I say, like Gunnar Stockton, if I remember correctly, he got absolutely smacked in that game. Georgia, I say more so injuries. Number 3 that year was Boise State. So based upon the criteria of how the college football playoff was, Boise State was a team that got the bye, and they had to play Penn State. Who Penn State was amazing, an amazing talented team. Could it win a big game? No. But going against a Boise State who wasn't a top 5 team, like they were able to dismantle Boise State. And so I don't think that Boise State, they didn't play for a whole entire month, really caused them to lose that game. No, they just think it was Boise State versus Penn State. And then Arizona State versus Texas. Arizona State played Texas really stinking well. Do I think that the bye, them being away from football so long, is the reason why they lost the game to Texas? No, I think Texas was technically the better team. Actually, Arizona State played a better game than Texas and almost won that game. So again, I don't think the bye really the team played was also really stinking good. Add in the fact that Indiana went against Alabama. Indiana strengths played to Alabama strengths. Georgia had an amazing game with Ole Miss that came out swinging. So I don't think that you can say that the bye is a reason why Oregon lost. No. Ohio State, were they as better? Were they as good as everybody says they were? Also, the fact of the game plan that Miami had was perfect against Ohio State, and also there were some calls for concern of what Ryan Day called against Miami as far as not running the ball as much as you need to in the first half, try to get your very young quarterback used to the college football playoff. You kind of set him up. You're not really setting him up for success. Hand out to the runner who's going to lose 2 yards. Great job there by Indiana and a punt for Oregon. So you have that. You have the fact like Ohio State didn't have a great first half, but then you had the second half. They came alive. You could maybe say that the bye has something to do with it, but it's also the play calling that definitely didn't help with the fact of Ryan Day, trying to call plays when he hasn't called plays all entire season. And then the other one was Texas Tech versus Oregon. Yeah, no, Texas Tech's defense came to play, so you can't say one or the other. You can't be like, it's Texas Tech's offense isn't doing it because of the bye. Then what about Texas Tech's defense? They have would have been the same defense they were the whole entire season. Texas Tech's defense was the same as the defense they've been the whole entire season. It just like their offense could not do anything against Oregon's defense, whose Oregon defense has been really good. So again, I think that it definitely should be shortened, but I think that you're arguing for the wrong thing. I think that if you want to appease both sides, you can still make it to where the semifinal games are on New Year's Day, like I've said before. So you have conference championship games. Then the very next week, though it's going to be the very next week would be graduation week. If you wanted, you could skip a week, but you're not going to skip back-to-back weeks. So I would suggest you don't skip the week and you keep the week of like Christmas as far as like the other bowl games being of importance, while also giving like a little bit of a break. So in my mind, you'd have conference championship week. After conference championship week, you'd have the first round. The second round, teams 1 through 4 also host a playoff game. So it would basically be around the same time as what they would be like the other teams would be playing. So, like I said, that would be hosting a game. So instead of 1 through 4 just going to a bowl game, no, you still get to host a quarterfinals game instead of being like the opening round game, and then have a break for Christmas, and then after that would be New Year's, and then you'd play New Year's. So basically, have like a week and a half, a little bit better for like as far as like the transfer portal and all this kind of stuff. Want to change that too, but I don't think there's that much change that needs to happen instead of like just changing the ways of the college football playoff because they're coming out flat. No, you're not even looking at the teams or who they're playing or how the games even turned out. Like Indiana whooped the dog mess out of Alabama. Georgia and Ole Miss had a game of all ages, and Georgia came out swinging pretty good too. Ohio State didn't come out swinging, but also you look at the play calling, and it wasn't the best. I'm just mentioning this stuff because like I don't think a lot of people really are talking about it. They're just showing the record and be like, oh well, ESPN showed me this record, and that's what really matters. No, like add context to the record, and you get a better picture. So, anyways, it is what it is. Like I said, people gonna have their narrative and they're just gonna run with it. But I think they're just very simple solutions that can be made. I like that. I like that, Emmanuel. Okay, but have you considered that doesn't fit my narrative? Well, see, I have mine. You might have yours. We can agree to disagree. That's great. That's the beauty of college football. You're a non-toxic fan, so you can accept different opinions, unless you're certain fans. We'll really talk about them. But it'll be first down 10 from about the 18-yard line. It'll be handoff, and he gets 3:15 left to go in the second quarter. Still 14-7. Indiana's defense had a great job that last time around. We'll see if maybe Oregon can return the favor and get their offense another chance. Like I said, it's only a 7-point game, but the fact that Oregon did start off with the ball is huge because if Indiana has some semblance of a drive or they go into the second half up by 2 scores, that's crazy. Going to be a hand up to the running back, get about 2 yards there, be third down 8 from the 20-yard line. Because like Indiana's defense has been very, very stout all game. Um, Oregon definitely is better when they can rely on the run game. And you're behind by 2 scores, you can't really rely on the run game as much. So this will be definitely huge if Oregon can stop here on third down and 8. Shotgun formation, right back to his left. Looks like they're going to bring a blitz. And they are. Drops back a pass. Is going to scramble. Is going to try to get the first down up to the 25, up to the 30-yard line, up to 35, and now about to the 40-yard line. That's going to be first down 10 for Mendoza. 12:09 left to go in the second quarter. First down 10 for old Indiana. You sound like you're in a much better mood now, Ryan. There'll be plenty of other players to cheer for at Auburn. Oh no, absolutely, there, Toby. It's not. It's not that. It's more so like, um, there is. I don't know how much I can reveal. Um, there is a reason why I really like Cam Coleman, and I'm just gonna stick. I'm just gonna stick with that without revealing other stuff. Um, and it sucks to see him go. Obviously, like I said, there's always great players you're gonna see leave your program, and I knew that there's people who were gonna be leaving. But the more and more that he waited to make his announced decision, I was like, well, maybe possibly there could be a way that he comes back. Then he didn't, and then I had just gotten so used to him not going to Bama and like choosing between the Texas teams. So I was like, okay, well, if he goes Texas Tech, we won't have to really face him. We don't have to watch him. If he goes to Texas, we don't have to see him either. So well, it'd be good not to have to play against him. But if he goes to Alabama, then obviously uh, that is not going to be the case. So again, yes. Um, sucks he went to Bama. Well, Dobie, that was reported by Luke, so it doesn't. It's not confirmed, but I will definitely check. Definitely check at halftime. I mean, hand off the run back because he's going to try in the middle of the field. Gets about, I think about maybe three, the two or three. Second down, 7. Yeah, Luke was indeed trolling, but he said that the visit happened and that the insiders are indeed saying that he is going to Bama. But like again, the insiders can be wrong, but a lot of times they're right. First down, not first down, sorry. Second down, about 7. Throws bat up in the air, almost picked off by Ulanole. And be third down 7. Yeah, no, he said that it happened. And then I asked if it could be confirmed, and he was the only one to confirm it. And I wanted to trust Luke because Luke is my friend, but also Luke likes to troll a little bit as well. I should have just read it. I should have read it as a troll, but I've been hearing a lot more that he could possibly go to Bama, and so that's the reason why I was like, please don't let this be the reality. So yeah. Shotgun formation, drops back to pass. Mendoza is going to get pressure, and he is going to get popped in the air, rolls out to his right, and going to get sacked all the way back to the 42-yard line. What are we doing, bud? I mean, great job there by Wyatt. He's able to get the pressure on him, and he like pops the ball out of Mendoza's hand, trying to pick it off. Well, recover the fumble. Mendoza gets it. He's like, "Well, I'm going to try to make something happen," and then he gets, instead of just throwing it away, he just gets sacked. So now you're back at like the other 42-yard line. Yeah, literally just attacks the ball. Shoot. But yes, I was indeed upset. I left after he gave that news. Yeah, no, he was trolling, and it was a good one. It was a good one, but it definitely got me. And he was like, oh well, it made me happy. I'm like, I know it made you happy, Luke, but I'm gonna call you later on in the night. I have some choice words for you. Up to 10, up to about like the 13-yard line. First down 10 for Oregon. 9:35 to go second quarter, still down by 7, but hopefully Dante Moore can have a better drive than this past one. But yeah, 32 is just like soaring, and he's just like, I'm going to get it. So, still all Indiana, but let's see if maybe Oregon can respond. Yeah, well, I know that, like, there have been great players for Auburn that's had to transfer out that have done better things when they left Auburn. Speaking like Bo Nix, that kind of stuff. And I expected a lot of people to leave. A lot more people left than I thought was going to happen, but I did expect a lot more people to leave with like a transition. Also, that they've been sold on a whole bunch of lines that has not come true. We've not become close to championship quality, championship caliber teams. So the expectation was so high we couldn't even get close to being doing that. And there's like the rumors that are spread about who these players are. Some of them are true, absolutely. Like the Jay Crawford and Kayan Lee, like them being a rest record, you literally can find that. Like you can find it on League County. They were when they were on your team. Then now all of a sudden it's like, well, now they're no longer on my team. I'm gonna spill the tea. And it's like okay, what? Or as like you saying like, I don't know if I can believe that totally. And so I don't know. It's one of those things where like a lot of toxic fans, whenever there's a person who leaves, you just see how toxic they really can be. Like for instance, if a player leaves the program, like a player leaves a college football program, player leaves like the NFL, like team, am I gonna hate that player? I mean, I might be like a lot of fans that as soon as the player gets traded, like not even the person like signing somewhere else, as soon as they get traded, oh, they're the I can't do that. I don't know if I could. I don't think. I think I can do that. Like, if I'm rooting for a dude for like 4 or 5 years, and all of a sudden they're on a different team, like, there's so many part of me that's just like, I really like the fact that, I hate the fact that he's not on my team anymore. But like, hey, at the same time, like, I was rooting for him for 5 years. Why would I all of a sudden be like, no? You know what I'm saying? Like I don't get that part. Unless like a bad breakup, like if it's like, like the way that Jalen Ramsey left the Jaguars where it got kind of messy, like I get that. Or like, I was in a bad breakup too. Uh, the first thing I had with Deshaun, but I was like, that was for a totally different reason, Deshaun Watson. Anyways, let's get back to this game. First down 10, going to be a scream. Holy crap, Dante Moore. What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh my gosh, he literally fumbled the ball. He fumbled the ball as he was throwing it. It went behind him. It went full Jameis Winston. What are you doing? Oh my gosh, Dante Moore is selling this game so hard. He saw he saw he was being mocked. He saw he was being definitely a fumble. But he saw he was getting mocked. The Jets was like, nah, I don't want that. Don't give me the Jets life. Holy crap, Dante Moore. What's up there? What's up there, Emmanuel? Dude, you, Dan Lanning, you gotta be feeling the pit in your stomach. Like, what can I possibly do? It's first and goal now from like the 3 yard line. Again, it's only a 7 point game. Right now, it's going to get a whole lot worse. Unless something happens, Dante Moore, you're selling so hard right now. So 14-7, shotgun formation. Listen, looks like Cooper in motion. Going to be a pitch, and that's going to be great hurdle. Only game's back. It's going to be second and goal from the 2. Bye, y'all. Come back later. No problem. Like I said, it's been a interesting game. Questionable stuff. Like, what is Oregon doing, basically? Gonna be a handoff to the running back who's gonna get. I think he actually got stopped. Yes, he did. Third and goal from the 1. So they stopped it once again. Third and goal. Obviously, if you're Indiana, I think it's a 2 down territory. I don't. I would be surprised. I'd be surprised being like, oh, we're at the 1 yard line. We'll just kick a field goal. Huge play right here. Mendoza, shotgun formation, run back to his left. Gonna be a half the run back who's gonna easily get in. I believe that's Black. That is. Yes, it is. Yes, sir. So, Indiana takes a 2-score lead behind Kalon Black. Sorry, Kalon Black. 27. 8:17 left to go in the second quarter. Basically, because of the fact that you had that fumble. Still, I don't know. I mean, like, it's unfortunate the ball hit the running back, so it's kind of like on the running back because like he literally kind of jarred it loose, but it's still going to fall on the quarterback's hands. But like, dude, that's technically two mistakes you made by your quarterback, who is supposed to be a top 2 pick. That now you are down by 2 scores, and if you do not score before the end of the first half, you are at an incredible disadvantage because Indiana gets the ball back at the second in the start of the second half. So it's like Oregon's got to wake up. Oregon has to wake up because again, you survive by being able to run the ball, and you were not able to run the ball against Indiana last time. If you are definitely not able to run the ball because you're down by big or down by 2 scores, and you don't feel comfortable doing that, you have to try to get quick possessions, try to get the score to the score you want. Like I don't feel great about Oregon right now. Don't feel great about Oregon because, like I said, this is a really great Indiana team. You never want them to be in double-digit lead, and if somehow, some way that Oregon comes up flat, all the momentum will be on Indiana's side. So don't feel great. I mean, I feel great for Indiana because, like I said, I picked them, so I won't be mad about that. As you can tell, with my red swim shirt on that I used for the Falcons. I really got to get that back. It's going to take a little time, but I think at the end of the day, I think what I'm going to decide to do is basically I'm going to break it up in different parts, but I haven't decided where I want to break it up yet, and then release it the week of the Pro Bowl. I think maybe because I'll have obviously I'll have that weekend also. Um, that I won't have to be streaming anything or anything like that. So I'll have some time, and then, like I said, then I'll be able to be playing, and then it goes up until the Super Bowl week. Yeah, I can still make that work. I can still make that work. I'm trying to think of like how I can probably split that though. Where I really want to try to get I really want to try to get the penthouse stuff out, but I'm like I still want to do other stuff too, and I'm so far behind on this that like how do I want to split it up? So I'm still trying to decide on that. So I'm like I want to put it in like quick order so I can know, especially try to follow the storyline. So I don't know. I'm still thinking about that. I think I'll be able to work on it a little bit more, especially like for the playoffs on MLK weekend because I'll be off. But also at halftime, I'm gonna go to the bathroom because I can already feel it. All right, a coworker of mine got me some food. She was like, "I'm gonna get some food. You want to get some food?" I was like, "Sure." And then she got me some food. And now right now it's doing a number. It did not sit well with me. Honestly, I've not been feeling the best. Oh, anyways, this last half of the week, so that might be part of it. So A-17 left to go in the second quarter, 21-7. Let's see if Dante Moore can recover. Like I said, last time through a pick six, he did recover, so maybe. I'll probably be last till halftime. I'll probably go back to him soon. Kick is up. Kick is going to be for a fair catch. All right, so first down 10 for Oregon. Oh, gosh. I'm going to have to miss some plays. I'm very sorry I'm going to miss some plays. already punting? Good lord. Oh. Return to like a 38-yard line, Indiana, first down 10. There is a reason why I am drinking Gatorade. Let's just say that. Oh gosh. So I guess I didn't miss much since it was already a punt. So it's like 5 minutes left to go in the first half. Still 21-7, all Indiana. Oregon, this ain't looking great for you. Like I said again, I say the fact that you rely heavily on being a running team to kind of set up the pass. And right now you're down by 2 touchdowns with a great Indiana team that so far has had some pretty decent drives. Um, that start off the ball to start the second half. Take a 3-score lead going into halftime. And again, with the ball to start the second half. So again, this is not looking great for you. Not looking great to you. I have to get another one at halftime. I feel awful. I do feel awful. But I will push through, and I'll push through tomorrow and Sunday and Monday. Goodness gracious. I like how they have like the new flair to the old school Big Ten. Um, it is interesting though. You still have Big Ten. It's like you are not even close to 10 teams. Not even close to 10 teams anymore. I mean, the SEC is still like South is not all Southeastern because in no way is Oklahoma or Texas Southeastern. It's more like Southwest. But but it's still fine because it's like still relatively the same. Other conferences are it's just like I know it's been a domino effect because of what technically the SEC has done. Like each time, it's it's been like the SEC making decisions. It's like okay, well we want to blame other people for doing stuff that we ourselves did. Like we expanded, which made other teams expand, which means but even before the Texas Oklahoma, but with Texas A&M and Missouri adding, you had more additions happen from other ones on the brink of the collapse of the Big East as well. So then that changed a whole bunch of stuff as well. Some going to the American Conference, making that the premier Group of Five team. Pac-12 and all the stuff that they were going through as well. Uh, Going back to the Pac-12, and then the SEC getting Oklahoma and Texas just kind of threw a whole mess in the whole organization. Mendoza's going to throw it back to the running back who's going to get basically tattooed right at the line of scrimmage. It'll be a second down and 10. 4:45 would go in the second quarter. But yeah, SEC is we complain about other teams, but then we also do the stuff that's kind of caused them to make their decisions. Bringing in two of the biggest brands in football, and they were like, "Why in the world did the Big Ten do this?" Well, that's the reason why they did it, to try to compete with us. So, second down 10, shotgun formation, draws back to pass, Mendoza throws, and that's going to be over him. One hands it, also with the flag for a PI. Like, dude, he is so good. Surratt should be a first round pick. I don't know if he is, but he should. He's gonna make somebody happy. I mean, literally has to one hand it because of the PI. Still makes the play. Wait a second, make sure that football didn't touch the ground. I think that still count. It'll be a play action pass. Mendoza got plenty of room to run if he wants to. And he's going to throw, and that's going to be a gain of, depends on where he stepped out, probably 8. That's Omar Cooper. So second down and 2. 3:40 left to go in the second quarter. Again, it's at like the 30. So what did I say? 30. I don't remember where it was at. But yeah, Indiana's just going to try to drag this clock out. Like I said, pretty much if you're able to get like even if you get a field goal here is amazing. From the 36-yard line, going to be a play action pass by Mendoza's got some time, throws for the end zone and touchdown Indiana. Becker with the touchdown. And Indiana goes up 27-7, 3:13 left to go in the second quarter. This is looking like a rout. I am not claiming it just yet because Oregon still has a shot, technically. But it ain't looking good. It ain't looking good for old Oregon right now. Mendoza looks comfortable, and it also helps that his offensive line is doing an amazing job. But yeah. All right, kick is up. Kick is good. So it's going to be 28-7, 3:13 left to go in the second quarter as well. Well, this is definitely not what it was last time. I can guarantee that. Also, like I said, I mentioned before, there's a whole lot of red in the stadium. I'm sure they're happy that they traveled well. Like literally, this is pure domination. And I mentioned before that yes, it's hard to beat a team twice, but it's also the fact that they beat the team on the road, which is the reason why I hated that false start little stat they showed. Because it's like, how is that relevant? Oh, they had 6 false starts the last game. Yeah, because they were on the road. Anyways, but it is 28-7, and if Oregon cannot do anything this next drive, I would not. I would bet house money on Indiana because they like I said they have the team. They haven't shown to have second half collapses at all. And so I would assume they still be motivated into the second half because they still were against Alabama. So yeah, no, not great, not great. Dude. This is not at all how the game I thought was going to go. I'm happy. I'm happy to be on the winning side. But yeah, this is not how I thought it was going to go at all. So, first down 10 for Oregon. Shotgun formation with running back to his right. There, second down 6. Trying to run behind World. A little bit of push, a little bit of jog going. Trips to the left. Running back to his right. Motions him out. Draws back the pass. And is going to get sacked. And he fumbles. Oh my gosh, Indiana get it again. Holy crap. Indiana got the ball again. This game's over. This game is literally over. It is 2:32. Let's go to the second quarter. The game is already over. Like, again, how can you watch this game? How can you watch this game and not think to try to get the Indiana's head coach, get Indiana's defense coordinator, offense coordinator? That's an amazing draw. That's an amazing twist they just ran right here. Okay, so like I said, amazing twist right here. You wait until you basically just buy the guard has to buy in, and you cut back inside with the edge rusher. He's an easy pass to the defender, like literally just stiff arm the dude. Got about 2 yards. It's not much, but still. Second down and 8, 15-yard line. I I don't know. I'm being serious. Like I thought that yes, that Indiana's defense would show up again, that they would stop the run, but I didn't see three a pick six, one fumble, two fumble, and the second fumble literally is basically getting you into the red zone already. It still makes no sense. I don't know. Like I said, Indiana's an amazing team. I'm not trying to take away from it. Just the fact that you're up by 28-7 in before halftime, and it could get worse. I I literally would not have guessed that at all. I'm so baffled. Well, um, unless Indiana has the collapse of all time, uh, we will see Indiana in their first national championship game. Hey there, Zoe. It's been wild. I'm pulling for Indiana, obviously with my red, but I could not even have imagined that this game would have gone as much as it has. Literally, like I said, pick six to start the game. Indiana's up 7-0. But then you feel like, oh well, Dante. I even said I was like, well, let's see here. Dante Moore can bounce back. Maybe like come back be a good game. Then 7-7. Oh, 7-7. Okay, it's still good. It's still good. It's still good. And then the Indiana scores touchdown, and then Oregon can't do anything. Um, and then it's starting to turn to a rout because we've had two fumbles. Not only do we have pick six, two fumbles by Dante Moore. Again, Dante Moore must have seen all the mock drafts trying to take him to the Jets, and he's like, nah, I'm not going to the Jets. Um, this is great. I mean, like Nick Saban's talking to Jonathan Stewart right now, and it's like Jonathan Stewart's like he's Oregon through and through, and it's just like he's got to be embarrassed by what he's seeing right now. This is crazy. This is ridiculous. Like I said, and you get the ball to start the second half. That's what I'm saying. Like it's ridiculous right now. I don't know, dude. Gonna be Hampton run back who's gonna size the defender, gonna get up at the 15 down about the 14, 15 yard line. It'll be third down and about four. We're in calls first time out. This is crazy. Finally home from work. Oh, nice. Hope it was a good day at work. This is a it's a rout. That's what it is. It's been a blowout. The only thing I don't like about blowouts is that there's not really much I can really say like that haven't already said. That's the thing I don't really like is that I can't really add anything because it's like I've already said everything that needs to be said. Indiana is playing great defense, limiting the run, and then forcing Dante Moore to make plays. He hasn't been able to make plays. So all that poise people are talking about, if he doesn't have a great run game, he's not doing it. So that's what my concern about him was, and it's proving true. I said, I'm not a fan of a lot of these quarterbacks in this draft class. Going to be throwouts to the running back who is going to get the first down to the 10 and down of the 8 yard, not the running back, sorry. Wide receiver Ashley Pons. It is indeed D'Angelo Pons, the actual nickel that sometimes plays on offense. Love D'Angelo Pons. I just saw number 5 and just assumed it was a running back, but I forgot Pons does play on offense sometimes. Uh, I know you don't need I know you don't need a nickel corner for your Denver Broncos, but D'Angelo Pons, amazing nickel corner that's going to make he's going to make some GM really happy. He gets him in the second round. I really think that he goes second round. Um, I don't know how the world is going on. It wasn't too bad. Luckily, good. Oh dear, that bad yet? Yeah, no, it's not great. I hope that Oregon football wins. Parker again. It will take a miracle at this point. You're down 28-7, and Indiana is basically like first and goal. They can run those clock as much as they want, and they can also start second half. So I don't know. Indiana's defense 3 sacks. The first game they had 6 sacks against Oregon, and they've had 3 turnovers. Indiana's crowd must be like trying to hype them up for some odd reason. Shotgun formation. Overload to the left. Going to be a handoff. And that's going to be up to the 5 and down to about the 1. It'll be just short. First. Second and goal from the 1. It is a very, very heavy Indiana crowd. I will say that. Like, they did a pan, and it's literally a whole bunch of red. It is a whole bunch of red. I mean, Indiana's a bit closer than, obviously, Oregon to Georgia. But, yeah, no. Right now, 74 yards compared to 174. 9 rushing yards compared to 66. Like, it's been complete domination. Not only the turnovers, but also just the fact that Indiana's just like kind of had their way. Under center, gonna be a toss, and that's gonna be a great job there by number 50. Actually gonna lose a yard. I always say it loses 2, so third down and 3. 101, let's go to the second quarter. Timeout is called by Oregon. So last timeout was called, they actually added no second on this, so it was 102. Third and goal. Oregon Ducks football season's over with now. Well, I don't want to say it too early, but it ain't looking good, Parker. It ain't looking good. It ain't looking good at all. Like I said, you never want to like say it's definitely gonna happen because, like I said, we've seen that happen before where people come back. But unless something drastically happens, like okay, let's just say third goal, say Indiana doesn't score a touchdown, they set up for a field goal here, and Oregon can somehow, some way, in no timeouts get a score again and try to get some like the momentum back, and maybe, but it's just I don't know. I don't know. So they put up a 2.5. Third and goal. 102. Let's go in the second quarter. Trips to the left. Mendoza in shotgun formation. Right back to his right. Throws, and that's going to be caught and a touchdown by Surratt. He is so good, and I'm so glad he got rewarded with a touchdown. 34-7, 59 seconds left to go in the second quarter. Elijah Surratt is really, really good, like amazingly good. So, yeah, it's 34-7. Actually, we're making 35-7. So, Parker, again, I don't want to make it too quickly, but yeah. Ooh, hold a second. Did his knee hit first? Let me just make sure this Rutten's knee didn't hit first. Almost. I think he still makes it in though. I think the ball still has crossed the plane by the time his thigh hits the ground. Yeah, I would say still a touchdown. Okay, so knees not down right there. Yeah, so it's touchdown. It's touchdown. It's touchdown. Oh, dude, the fact that you went from quite literally a shutout to now laying up 35 points. Yeah, 35 points in the first half. First half, 35 points. Previously, you had a shutout. Some of that has to do with the fact that Oregon's offense has caused turnovers, but there's that. As I'm saying, like it was the thing that made me like way more confident in Indiana too. Was like Oregon's offense definitely had like a hard time against Texas Tech's defense for sure, but it was more so the incompetency of the Texas Tech offense that was more so the on display in that game was what made me really mad. So I was like, Texas Tech's defense doing everything they possibly can. Oregon's defense, though obviously not as stout as like the Texas Tech defense, but still like they can only do so much. You can't really help the fact that one of the scores against you is not really against you; it's more so a pick six. Two of the other scores are aided by the fact that you had fumbles that were deep within your own side of the field. So it's like, okay, you're starting at like 21-yard line. You're starting at like the 30-yard line. So it's like puts you in difficult situations, and you still have a whole other half to go. it it's already getting ugly. It could get horrid by the end of this game. Kick is away. It is for a touchback. First down 10 for the Oregon Ducks. I hope that Indiana football beats Miami in the national championship game. Um, yes, I would. I don't know. Like, I'm so conflicted. On one hand, I want Indiana to win their first national title, cool, of like capping off this amazing year. On the other hand, I don't want the Big Ten to win three in a row, but I don't know. At this point, I just feel like it's going to happen. At this point, I just feel like it's going to happen. Oh, dude. I now feel better about Alabama. Yeah, no. I mean, it's 35-7, dude. I mean, granted, like I said, I was just talking about the fact that it was aided by three turnovers, but still, Dante Moore throws deep down the field, incomplete. 51 seconds left to go in the second quarter. First down 10. Like, the pick six didn't help, and the two fumbles set up great field position for Indiana. But yeah, no, I mean, if you're Alabama, you're like, well, it's number five team, and you're running to a wagon right now. It's literally 35-7. Oregon has not been able to do anything since that second drive where Dante Moore was actually able to respond after that pick six. And now it's just like Indiana can just go under cruise control at this point. Draws back a pass. Dante Moore throws across the middle, caught up to the 39-yard line. First down tip for Oregon. No timeouts. 45 seconds up to the 39. Draws back a pass. Only rushing three. That's a hold. Isaiah World got beat again. So it doesn't even matter. It's incomplete pass, throws out of bounds. I mean, it was a blatant hold. You're rushing three, and Isaiah Ward, you can't handle a one-on-one. You can't handle a one-on-one. You're getting that work, dude. Oh man. So Indiana football is going to blow up Miami Hurricanes. Well, I don't know. I wouldn't say that. I don't know. I don't know if that's going to carry over into the national championship game. Hopefully not. That would be awful. I think it could be good. I think it could be a great game. Oh no, Kamara's on the field. Shoot, number six Kamara. He's on the ground. They're checking him right now. Hopefully he's okay. Is that child getting beat? I can't tell if that's a laugh or a cry. I'm gonna. Interesting. All right. I've mentioned this before. I'll be very shocked if Indiana's offense coordinator, Indiana's defense coordinator doesn't get any kind of looked at. Like I know they're young, but dude, after these two back-to-back games, are you telling me that you're not even looking at them potentially? Especially for next year. For next year, I'll be surprised if they stay. Drop back to pass, takes a little. Well, tried to take a little shot at Johnson right at his feet. Second down 20, 32 seconds left to go to second quarter. Again, this is, dude. If we have another, what was that? What was the Georgia TCU game? It was 57 to something. I don't know. It's ridiculous. Like that. That's what it's leading to right now. This is awful. This is downright horrendous. Is there a rivalry between the SEC and the Big Ten, and in particular, or is it an SEC having a rivalry with every other conference kind of thing? Um, so SEC and Big Ten, for the most part, has been the dominant conferences for quite some time. Um, like I said, SEC, they're down seven. Sorry, they're down seven. Throws across the middle up to the 40-yard line, as they can clock it, try to get a field goal range. So at least they can have some semblance of a great drive. 6 seconds and clocked three. All right, so clocked at the 38-yard line. It's more so like I said, Big Ten SEC have long been the big dogs in college football, and we usually kind of dictate what happens with like as I mentioned before, the SEC. adding Texas and Oklahoma, which is basically like imagine in the NFL. Imagine the NFC West decided they want to take on they wanted to take Dallas in their division, and they decided, who else we're going to take? We're going to take like he missed it. He missed 56-yard field goal, and then I guess they were like, okay, let's also take the Green Bay Packers. So now the NFC West has the Green Bay Packers and has the Dallas Cowboys, two of the biggest brands in NFL. That's what it was like. It's like taking on both Texas and Oklahoma, and it's like we kind of inadvertently caused the Big Ten to be like, okay, we also got to add some more people. So they add a whole bunch of people from the former Pac-12, which was Oregon, who's playing right now, who's getting whooped by Indiana, a like used to be a door stopper for the Big Ten. Oregon, UCLA, USC, like I said, Washington. Like I said, it's just like a lot of stuff that we do kind of dictates what happens in the sport. And the fact is that SEC has been dominant for so long that I think we've kind of gotten a little bit too big for our britches. But at the same time, we've become complacent. Uh, and the Big Ten right now has better teams at the top. Obviously, you can still say like the SEC is deeper, um, but it's not really been shown as such. Especially this year, our bowl record is absolutely horrible. But like how much we take that into consideration. But like, if the Big Ten wins three in a row, then they have a legitimate claim to being the top conference, which is a huge recruiting pitch. I mean, like if you're a young dude and you want to go to the NFL, there's a lot of people who have different motivations. But like if you're a young guy, if I was a high school if I was a high schooler, okay, and I can get paid anywhere that I go to. So it doesn't really like payments aren't really a problem. But I'm looking to go to the next level, and I'm trying to look to compete for championships. Back in the day, if I could just go to the SEC school, sit behind a good player, and develop, and then maybe compete for a national title or an SEC title, like I could do so. Because that's what you just did. It's almost like you had to go to college, that kind of stuff. Like you had to go to the SEC to be able to succeed. And then now it's like SEC still definitely one of the most dominant, but are we the dominant? No. It's still calls into questions. And so right now it's like if the Big Ten wins again, and it'll be three different, because for the most part, SEC, sure, SEC be like, oh, we're dominant, yeah. But for the most part, it's been the two. It's been Georgia and Alabama. It's been mainly carrying us with odd in there Auburn or LSU or early on Florida. Like there hasn't really been like there's been more so just like the top two guys, which has been Alabama and Georgia. If Indiana also wins, now obviously Michigan's going through their stuff, but still Michigan, you could be like, oh well, they cheated their way to that one. It would be Michigan, Ohio State, and then Indiana. Three different teams, 3 years in a row, all from the Big Ten, all traditional Big Ten teams, and all um, win their gosh, I just lost my train of thought. Win the national championship game. So it's not going to be where the SEC can really claim that as much, and so that's being a little bit of a problem. Like I'm dead serious. I know coaching matters, but there's just a gut feeling. They don't make any mistakes thing is a little sus to me. It's the fact well they just coach really well, and I think you have like the motivation of like players like technique. Obviously, going to take you a lot further than just skill alone. Skill and technique is where like you have the dominant teams you've seen in the past, but the fact that you have great coaching, that coach the great technique, that you just see like the way that they play, um, their especially the defensive linemen, especially with like running different kinds of twists, different kind of blitz packages you've ever see. Like they're very selfless as well. Like you'll see that with like I'm speaking as an Auburn fan, but like with DJ Durkin's defense, where like the defensive lineman takes on a lot of the double teams, try to free up the linebackers, kind of make some of the plays instead of the defensive lineman. Like that's being selfless if you actually do it right, and it can be devastating. And right now, like Indiana's defensive line is getting after Oregon. They're running those twists. They're like the interior defensive line is like, okay, I will take that guard. I'll be able to take that tackle away. It's basically just forcing um, uh, it's forcing the defense, the guard to make a difficult play, and he can't make that play because like the defensive end is too fast. Pons being like outstanding nickel corner. Well, I'm saying corners in general. I don't keep on saying nickel corner because some people say that's meaning, but it's not. But being an outstanding corner that I believe should be a second round pick. I don't think people are going to put him in the first round. I would be surprised, but like he definitely should be a second round pick, and because a lot more people play in base than nickel anyways. But like the fact that you still have a good bit of talent, like Surratt, outstanding wide receiver. Yes, he's on Indiana. Yes, he doesn't have like all the different accolades being a four. I don't think he's a 4 or 5 star. Who cares? Who cares about the stars anymore? Because like a lot of people getting overrated anyways. Like DJ Lagway was supposed to be a generational quarterback, and it has not worked out for Florida. Now, granted, you can say a whole bunch of stuff about Florida, but like I think there will be, and there has to be now a thought process of like the different changes in college football. I haven't really talked about it on stream just yet, but I think you're starting to see, especially with the talent that Indiana has, with not as much like the rated talent, just based upon film. You have to have guys who can be talent evaluators. So instead of like looking at the stars, instead of looking at all this kind of stuff, because those kind of players are the same as the players have been told their whole entire life that they were good. And the reason why I'm mentioning this is because just from my personal experience, the grade below me, this is like high school, but still, it'll make sense in a second. The grade below me had a whole bunch of like amazing talent. The nephew of Terrell Owens was in that grade. Like I said, like we had a whole bunch of like talent of people who were like were told their whole entire life that they would be the class that would take us to the state championship game. Never happened. Never happened. And the thing was that they were constantly told they were the best, they were the best, they were the best. That in that group, unfortunately, there wasn't as many leaders in that group because they were just like it was a very, very me kind of culture. And so that's what I'm saying. It's like you have the talent with some of these people, and you're seeing in the transfer portal where people are just taking the biggest bag they possibly can. And they're actually going to worse situations for themselves instead of working to stay on a roster, working through some of the pain. And it's not everybody. I think that's a huge problem that a lot of people are trying to say is like, oh, it's the whole entire cultural landscape. No, you're just hyper focused on the particular people that it is, and there has always been a problem. There's not been the money that's been basically given out for free at this point in time because there's not a lot of regulation as far as how the NIL is made. But the thing is like how you build your roster is going to have to be very similar to how an NFL team has to build their roster. You only have so much money to give. So, in order to have a better successful team, you need to have your core guys. So obviously, these are the guys that have been in your system for a long time. They're the ones that can be the talented freshmen that you have to push in every single year. And then you have to be strategic in free agency. You can't just throw all your money at the best players every single year, and then hope it all works out. Because yes, you can have success, but does it make you have those deep playoff runs in the playoffs? No. It's based upon you drafting well, you developing well, you having young talent as well that's going to be able to step up in the moments and then take on that leadership role as the season progresses because they've been a part of your team. That's what I'm saying. I think that you're starting to see some of the changes, and you're seeing some of the teams, make that change. See some teams still going with the have to throw all your money, have to bend the knee to a lot of these players. And if I'm a player, if I'm talented enough that I am having a whole bunch of people just basically be at my every whim, yes, you're going to have a big head. Yes, you're going to be like demanding so much money that you more than more than you could possibly make in the NFL because you're not that great. Like that's what I'm saying. Like it's kind of insane how much money people are making it with NIL because there's just so much free reign. But if you're a college football team, not only do you have to have the coaching, obviously that's the hugest point. But if you're able to have a core group of people that have been together for quite some time, that are able to bring those basically free agents, the transfer portals on along board of like what kind of culture you have there, then it can work. And right now it's being shown. You have great coaching with Indiana. Kurt Signetti, obviously, like I said, he coached for a long time even before joining the Nick Saban staff, but he helped develop Philip Rivers. He helped develop other people as well. When he came to Nick Saban's coaching staff, he was part of the recruiting coordinator. Like that was very much influential at bringing in a lot of these talented guys. Like, for instance, we talk about Julio Jones and how amazing it was. His recruitment stories for Alabama, and the fact that basically it kind of helped that Foley was, I think it was Foley, yeah, was like they didn't let Pete Carroll even meet with Julio Jones. Like I said, like the relationship that Kirsten Lee was able to make with the high schools and be able to bring in a lot of these great talents to Alabama. Alabama was coming off of like sanctions, and the fact that you were still able to be like, okay, we're still Alabama. We have Nick Saban. We have a guy who's just won a national championship game at LSU just a couple years before. Come to Alabama. You will compete for national championship, and then you show that in 2008 that you're very, very close. You're very, very close, and then you continue. Then you make the national championship game in 2009, prove yourself, and then from that point on, Kurt Signetti still there. He was like there from 2007 all the way to 2012. He's there from that 2009, 11, 12, where they're winning 3 out of the last 4. Like that's what I'm saying. Like he was there to see the establishment of a hardworking program, of people who were sitting, who were developing. That's what I'm saying. Like finding the talent, finding the great coaching, and then just developing your players, picking and choosing who's going to come in, who's going to be like the missing piece that we kind of need. Think of Cooper. Think of who do I mean, think of Mendoza. Like I said, think of these players that you desperately needed to try to take the next step, and but you still have the team all built up in your culture from either your JMU days or that first round going to Indiana. Like you have them built up in your culture, and you play certain people that you desperately needed to get there. Like that's what I'm saying. Like Kirk Signe's done that, and you're hoping that you see more teams kind of follow that suit because I think that's going to help course correct some of the problems that are happening with the transfer portal. Is like, okay, you're a talented guy. You're trying to basically say that you can do whatever you want to. Okay, we'll beat you on Saturday. If you don't be part of this kind of culture, if you want to try to do what you're supposed to be doing, then we don't need you. And instead, we'll beat you on Saturday. If that's the mentality that a lot of teams start taking because you feel confident in yourself, you feel confident in your players, that yes, it would be amazing to have these kind of players, sure. But if they're going to be willing to try to make it seem that they are the best player available you could possibly have, it's going to continue to cause problems because then obviously, like I said, more and more money is going to be pumped in, more and more lucrative contracts will be pumped in, and there's already not being a lot of regulations on the stuff. But if you prove you can do it without a lot of star players, coaches might change their tone on bending a knee. Let's see here. Where was I at? Um, Michigan cheated their way to national championship. How? I literally know nothing about this. We didn't even have prime saving teams blowing out good teams like this. That's fair. Um, I mean, you have the national championship game against Notre Dame. But, so Michigan back in, this is 2022? No, 2023. Yeah, 2023. Back in 2023, I try to shorten this down instead of like going full detail. There's actually, I mean, I'll talk about it a little bit, but if you want to, if you have Netflix, you can watch the documentary talking about the Connor Stallion situation. But basically, shortened version, um, Michigan would have a stealing sign scandal where basically the difference between college football and NFL is that just recently changed. But the NFL obviously has like on the comms. Like obviously you can like the coach can talk to the quarterback through like a microphone, telling the play that kind of stuff. And college you couldn't do that until this situation happens, where basically they had to make a rule change, which should have been a change for a long time, but they decided not to. Basically, they relay the play into the players through symbols. So like it could be like a a player, a coach could wear like a red shirt and do like this symbol, and this means like say something to the right, or it could mean something else. And then another coach would make another symbol. What Connor Stallions did is that he technically used the game footage to watch, like use up into a point. Connor Stallions went by the book and basically saw all the motions that people were doing, memorized all of them, like had a sheet, like very detail oriented, had a sheet basically discussing what all the plays were. So, and he had that sheet with him. So he would just basically tell them like this is what the play is going to be based upon like what he basically had been studying. And so because of that, more and more later on in the season, when Michigan was winning all those games, the story started to break a little bit, and there was more controversy as far as like Connor Stallions being on the Central Michigan sideline. Like it looked like Connor Stallions. It was confirmed it was Connor Stallions. So obviously you're not supposed to be on the Central Michigan sidelines. There was accusations of like him having like a recording of like the game, like you're only allowed to use game footage but you can't be at the game and recording the game. And then there's some other stuff too. It's like buying tickets. He was like, he for someone like as detail oriented as him, he was very sloppy and left like a paper trail of like Venmo transactions and that kind of stuff. That eventually, so that's the reason why Jim Harbaugh had to leave Michigan. Him and Justin Miller had to leave Michigan. Connor Steins also had to leave Michigan, where they basically couldn't come on back on Michigan's campus for so many odd years. Um, and so like all that breaks. Michigan still beats Ohio State. Ohio State still upset because they're like, "Oh, you're still on our signs." Da, 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 da. And then Michigan goes into the national goes into the playoffs, the 14 playoffs. First, assumed they were going to play FSU because FSU was undefeated, but no, FSU is undefeated, gets bounced because they had lost their quarterback Jordan Travis. Alabama actually gets in. So Nick Saban's final game is against Michigan, and then Michigan makes it to the national title game, beats Kalen DeBoer's led Washington Huskies, led by Michael Penix, and then Kalen DeBoer jets off to Bama. So it's a little interesting little tidbit there too. But since that point in time, Michigan, then Ohio State, and now possibly even Indiana, 3 in a row from the Big Ten. Wait, is that why Harbaugh? Yes, that is exactly the reason why he went back to the NFL. I heard about his escaping a scandal or something like that. Yes, so this is exactly the scandal where um, he supposedly knew. And the other thing that's interesting too is because of the scandal, Harbaugh couldn't coach the last like 2 or 3 games of the season, and because of this is the reason why Sharon Moore got his chance of being the head coach because it was interim head coach, and then they beat, like I said, then they beat Ohio State, and then after Harbaugh leaves, Sharon Moore becomes the head coach. That his whole entire thing this offseason was interesting of like the catching him in an affair and then everything that he did after the fact because he knew that he had basically screwed up his life. Then made it even worse by threatening her life. But again, so a lot of stuff has happened in Michigan. But it all started with the sign stealing scandal, and then putting a scandal on Michigan, and then Harbaugh jetting off, and Justin Miller jetting off to the Chargers. So yes, it is. It is a whole mess for sure. Hello there, Emmanuel. How you doing? Got out early. Let's freaking go. What happened since the start of the second quarter? Um, so there's been 3 turnovers by Oregon. So there was a pick six. Then there's been two fumbles that's been deep in Oregon territory, being touchdowns. So, like I said, and then Oregon trying to get like a field goal at the very end, but it didn't matter. So, like, it literally became 35. Probably going to get worse. All right, I'm gonna go get me another Gatorade because we're about to be back from the first half. I still feel awful, but I'm still powering through. Finish off this game, and then I'm going to go sleep for a long time, and then get ready for the game tomorrow because Carolina Panthers gotta go against the Rams, and I'm hoping we win. I'm hoping we do, but I'm fluctuating of who I'm actually going to pick. All right, so I'll have a second. Oh, oh. I'm actually going to go back and up that. Oh gosh. Okay. So Indiana starts the ball. Just on this first down 15. gosh. It's going to be a gain about 2 yards. Oh. Oh. I feel like I'm fighting for my life on the toilet. I'm sorry I have to talk about that, but I feel awful. Not third down. Second down, 13. 35-7. Oh my gosh. Okay, so shotgun formation, running back to his right, drops back a pass, throws to the left side, caught. That's to be a first down to the 38-yard line by Surratt. Again, great play by Surratt. Oh, okay. Again, I'm drinking a lot of Gatorade to try to help out the fact that I feel awful. And don't want to be too disgusting, but a whole lot of liquid has escaped my body. Um, again sorry for being a little bit straightforward, but I just don't feel great. Gosh, gonna be a hands to the running back who's gonna try the middle of the field, gets up to about the 39-yard line before he gets stonewalled. Second down 9. Okay. Yeah. So like I said, that's how Indiana got down. Indiana is indeed dominating. Yes, they are. They are dominating, but you know, maybe, maybe Oregon can have a comeback. I mean, we've seen 28-3, so maybe 35-7 is the next one. Who knows? Shotgun formation, running back to his right, second down 9 from the 39-yard line. Two tight ends to the right. Draws back to pass, throws to the right, and that's going to be great grab there by 80 up to about the 50-yard line. First down 10 for Indiana. That's Becker, the youngin. Oh, I need that. I need that. Oh, Saturday 49-yard line. Charlie Becker. Shotgun formation. Mendoza has Black to his left. Now over to his right, switching over. Going to be a handoff to Black. He's going to cut back inside and up to the 45 to the 40, and he's going to get one pinball spot. Should get the first down. Should be a 10-yard run. First down to Indiana. 12-11 left to go in this third quarter. Yep, give him the first down. Dude, I mean, like, this is outstanding for Indiana. Shotgun formation. Draws back a pass. Gets the pressure. Is going to roll up Mendoza up to about the 35. No, the 35-yard line. Gained there about 4 yards. Second down 6. Shotgun formation. Running back to his right. Oh, try to get him to jump off sides. Going to be Hampton running back who's going to be met immediately at the line. Great job there by the linebacker. That's going to be third down about 6 maybe. I think he like lost a yard, so third down 6. 11. He's going to try to escape. He's going to try to get the first down. He is up to a spin move by Mendoza, but he fumbles the ball, but it's recovered by his offensive lineman, the GOAT, number 78. So save the turnover, and Indiana's drive still continues. 10:35, let's go in third. Yeah, literally the center once again. I mean, I'm trying like him winning like what was it, the MVP for the Rose Bowl. That's a great play by him. Like I said, the ball just squirts out. Great punch out by Oregon because I mean he's carrying it out like this. So great punch out, but center is just too good. Going to be a handoff to the running back who's going to be met at the line. He doesn't get a yard, though, so it's gracious. Second down 9. All right, so 11 personnel. I'm just hearing Mendoza yell 11, so I'm assuming 11 person now. I mean, if any has scores here, are we really going to be that surprised? Shotgun formation, run back to his left. Going to be a handoff, and he's going to be up to about the 15, down to about the 13-yard line. So gain about 4. Still third down, about 5. 9:20 left to go in the third quarter. Empty set for Mendoza. Trips to the right. Drops back a pass, getting some pressure, throws for the end zone, and great grab by Williams. 41-7, Indiana, with 8:52 left to go in the third. 41-7. Again, if you're an Oregon fan and you traveled all the way down to Georgia just to see your team lose right now 41-7. Make that 42. I have no notes. I have no commentary. There's nothing for me to add. Literally, how could there possibly be anything for me more for me to add? It's not the greatest throw by Mendoza. I'll give him that. But it's crazy, dude. It might be a 7 point game. I mean, honestly, they're probably going to pull Mendoza. I'll be surprised if Mendoza takes us out in the fourth quarter at this point in time. At this point, his brother's going to play the game. Like the I gotta check make sure. What was that Georgia TCU one? Because Pat McAfee was at that one too. Because he's at this one right here. So um, that was 2022. That's 2022. Culture was no. They're doing it for the 2021 season. There we go. Georgia versus TCU. 65-7. So maybe. So you know that you can get 23 more points? Probably so. I I don't know, dude. I don't know. Actually, while I still have it up, let me go ahead and talk about it. So Mendoza, 13-14, 151, 4 touchdowns. So again, mistake-free football. Almost had a fumble, but then recovered. 4 touchdowns as well. Surratt leading the way, 5 receptions, that touchdown, and 64 yards. Absolute beast. Sacks, 2 by I think it's Ndukwe. I think it's his name, Ndukwe. But yeah, look at his total yards right here. Okay, 255 to 121. That's a huge portion. 3 turnovers to 0. Huge right there. 14 and 9 is kind of close on first downs. Penalties, 2 for 25, 2 for 10. Like I said, yeah. Third down, 4 for 6. Not bad for Oregon. 8 for 9 on Indiana. Time possession goes in ways as well. But yeah, no, like it has been all Indiana. All Indiana. After today, no one will have to Google Kirk Sidney to know who he is. Absolutely. I would be surprised. And again, I know the coach cycle is over, but like, you're telling me you're watching Indiana right now and you're not like, yeah, I want that offensive coordinator. Yeah, I want that defensive coordinator. I know they're improving, but good lord, I mean, like, who's going to take a shot on them next year? Kickoff's underway. Going to be a touchback. Again, I will say, and I will continue to say, I like the new NFL kickoff rules because I don't want to keep on having this. I mean, literally, it's just like just let's just watch and see how far the kicker can kick it at this point. Yeah, Becker kind of like limped off to the sideline. He did kind of get rolled up on, and that's the reason why I kind of feel like I think that Georgia's still going to keep the 65-7 because I do wonder if Indiana's going to pull some of their starters starting now. Shotgun formation, trips to the right back to his right, pitch to the right side, and he is going to get actually up to 30, up to 35-40, up to 45-50, up to 45-40. Trying to make a one-man miss. Pons got pancaked, but he was hoping that he can get a flag. Down to the 4-yard line. Did get hopped, so he definitely helped, it not be a breakaway touchdown, but, it's still 42-7. So, first and goal at the 4. That was 71 yards. That was almost three-fourths what they had made in the previous drives. Like, so that just one play. 71. 8:11 left to go in the third quarter. Still, again, 42-7, in case you're wondering. From the 4-yard line, first and goal. It was like two tight ends to the left. That's the number 11 in motion. Going to be a play pass. Throws for the end zone and incomplete. Pons got called for pass interference on that one. Must have happened earlier on because initially there's not really pass interference. Can I see it? There must have been tug before. Let's see here. All right, then that was outside coverage. I think that's a little bit. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. First and goal from the 1. The running back who's going to get in for the score, and Oregon has finally broken their scoring drought. So now it's 42-14. So a little bit more manageable. I might as well go for 2 at this point. Yeah, y'all go for 2. 42-13, dude. 42-13. They're 0 for 3 on 2-point conversion. That's kind of funny. All right, so bunch to the right a little bit. Drops back a pass, throws, and that's going to be a 2-point conversion. As much as I love Pons, why do you have Johnson? Why do you have Pons on Johnson? Like, again, I love Pons. But again, Pons is a little bit shorter, so he's going to be more so a nickel corner. Why do you have him on a, 6'5" tight end? That makes no sense. They only need, 4 more touchdowns. Exactly. It's possible. You could theoretically make it happen. All you gotta do is just shut down Indiana's offense the rest of the game. Get 2 pick sixes. Gotta be able to steal those points back, and you got it. You got it. Because again, you're Oregon. You're number 5 Oregon. You're only lost to Indiana, and you want to avenge that loss. So why not a national televised game in Georgia? You're going to show the world that we almost won that first game. We can definitely win this one by being down 42-15. I'm not mad. I'm disappointed. I'm not mad. I'm disappointed. They're playing for clicks. We're playing for that Nike NIL money. Dan Lanning in the locker room probably. Possible. I mean, hey, as I stated before, the uniforms look sick. Okay, we love the Oregon uniforms. Love the Oregon uniforms. Classic. Always got a nice little style with them. Yeah, not great. Not great, Bob. Not great. Uh, wait, where was that? Oh, you just cool. Oh, pull off a Broncos versus Giants ish comeback. And then it confused me when you deleted your message because I was like, wait, where were they at? Maybe, maybe, possibly. Like I said, it would take a whole bunch of mess. It would take a whole bunch of mess. What is this Pizza Hut commercial with Tom Brady, the big New Yorker? Okay, I, like it just feels weird when there's like a blowout. Trying to, I have no notes, and I don't think there's anything that Oregon can do. Playoff premium? What? That's playoff premium. You trying to sell somebody like, oh, you want the premium playoff? I want some premium games. Going from last night to this one is also another reason why like it's like kind of bringing it down because like last night's game was an instant classic and this one's been absolutely drubbing. So it's like you know, and then guess what? You want to know what the kick happened? Okay, so they kicked it off. Do we want to guess what happened? Because it was very unpredictable what could happen in college football at any time, any given day. So what do you think happened? Touchback? We are correct. I tried to do a little Dora the Explorer there, waiting for the audience to answer. We know it's the obvious answer. Again, why? Don't know why. No clue. Not even clue. No clue at all. Makes no sense. Shotgun formation. Running back to his right. Gonna be a handoff. That's gonna be up to 30, up to 35, up to 40. And there's a flag, but Black is gonna be hawked down at about the 13-yard line. I do believe there's a hold. Do believe there's a hold. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Holding on the offense. Black did all that for nothing. Great play. As soon as I saw the flag was thrown, I was like, okay. Ref was like, we can't let this keep on being can't let this keep on being a blowout. I mean, India's just going to keep on running the ball. So what are we talking about right here? Yeah, yeah. He doesn't have his hands technically. So as an offensive lineman, you're supposed to have your hands right here. Like I said, you can't have them like up in the shoulder pads. So technically, he had his underneath like this, and so it's kind of like underneath. So it's like you can't get away from your grasp. You're kind of holding him. I get where you're coming from. You're like, well, I'm just like really just stuffing him up. It's like you're also going underneath, and it's like it's so technically a hold. Okay, so what happened? All right, I don't know what the ref is talking about, but it's first and 20. All right, well, 7:25 to go in the third quarter. Shotgun formation. Gonna be a handoff, and that's gonna be a 3-yard gain. So second down 17. I mean, I guess another blowout is in the natty. I guess it's very likable, but man, don't really think this is going to be much of a real game. I guess I'm glad Beck will get curb stomped when he's not on my team. Well, I would say that I think Miami's a very very talented team. I think Miami's defensive line against Indiana's offensive line is going to be a very interesting talk like a talking point. Can Ruben Bain in his last college football playoff game, was last college game, be a difference maker? Because basically, Ole Miss was like, we just need to make sure that Ruben Bain can't get to Trinidad Chambliss, so we're going to throw like a lot of quick passes, that kind of stuff. But if Miami, who has a great run defense, is able to stall Indiana's run defense, then it might be a long night for Mendoza, who's going to also, if we're getting to third and long, is going to have to worry about Ruben Bain trying to get there. So again, I'm not saying it's a blowout. I don't think it will be a blowout. But I do think that based on coaching and also players, Surratt is so good. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, but whoever takes Surratt is like he he knows how to move in coverage. He is an excellent route runner. Yeah, is he the fastest dude alive? No, but who cares if he gets open? He just gets open. He gets open. And he catches like anywhere. I don't think he's gonna be a first round pick. He might be, but whoever takes Sherrod is gonna be a lucky man. Him and Bernard are my second round like wide receivers that are like that might creep up in the first round, but like whoever takes them are gonna be loving the fact they took them. Like I will hate if Sherrod somehow goes to Atlanta. If there's somehow, some way, Emmanuel, that the Falcons take Sherrod to basically pair him up with Drake London, that will take me off on draft night, and you will see me go off because I love Sherrod so much. That'll be the second time in as many drafts and all the times that I find a player that I like that he goes to a freaking division rival. So that's what I'm worried about right now. That's going to be going to division rival, either Surratt or Bernard. And Black just absolutely just trucked over the linebacker for about a 6 yard gain. Well, not 6 yards, sorry, about a 5 yard gain. Third down, about three. 4:44 left to go in the third. 42-15. I mean, at what point do you not see Mendoza's brother come in? Third down, three. Shotgun formation, drops back a pass. Takes a deep shot. Incomplete. Fourth and three. 4:19 left to go in the third. It is going to be a kind of a line drive, like the 4 yard line. Well, yeah, about 4 yard line. It's like a line drive kick. So the Falcons take him. Will it be your Grossi with Brian Branch moment? Zoe, my Grossi with Brian Branch moment was the moment that the Atlanta Falcons took Xavier Watts. He was a safety from Notre Dame that I fell in love with, that I wanted the Panthers to take because putting Xavier Watts next to Merrick would have been an amazing duo. And in the third round, we decided to take Princely Uman and I was upset by it. And I was so upset by it that I, for some reason, confused him with with my analysis with Brandon Sorensen. I don't know how, but I did. And so I was so distraught. And then the Atlanta Falcons were picked like 99 or whatever. And it was near the end of the draft, so I was kind of tired. And then Luke, we both streamed he always wants to see what my reaction is. So, for instance, the Michael Penix pick, he knew what's happening. He's like, you're never going to guess what's happened. So I'm like throwing out stuff. And there actually is a point in time where I was like, well, it could be Michael Penix. So I was like, nah, that would be stupid. Like, that's part of like I have two on my channel. You can check on like the shorts. I have two things with the draft. But um, when the Atlanta Falcons took Xavier Watts, I lost. I lost it because I knew he was going to be good, and then he's freaking good, and he just putting him with Jesse Bates is also great pairing too, and it's so yes, so technically I've already had my Brian Branch moment, Grossi moment, but there's been every single time, especially like this since I've been starting the channel, that I like really like a player, they get taken by um, the NFC South. Like it's without fail. So I'm trying to figure out who's going to be this year, but I feel like it's going to be Surratt or Bernard. Two that we don't really need, so it's fine. Like I know like the Panthers aren't going to take them, so it's a little bit different than the Xavier Watts because like we desperately need safety, so like it's different, so it's not as hurtful. But the fact remains that I know that I love these people and they're going to be good in the NFL. Good complementary pieces, so not like stars, but like good complementary pieces, like great number twos. And what do the Falcons need? A number two wide receiver. And with the new head coach, they're probably going to want to try to get like a rookie to pair with like a veteran at this point in time with Drake London. So again, I'm gonna be, I'm ready to be heartbroken again. And there's gonna be more. There's gonna be more draft crushes that I have later on in the draft. I've already got some that I just know that I'm probably hurt. I'll talk about more in a second. And after the running back is going to get about a 3 yard gain, second down 7, 4:04 left to go in the third. The one that it will crush me the most, though, obviously Cameron Jordan hasn't announced his retirement from the Saints yet. I love, love Keldrick Falk. One, Auburn, obviously. But outstanding dude, outstanding leader, and that you could possibly get out of him. 6'5", 288. He's in the body type of Cameron Jordan. And I swear, if at pick 8, the Saints take Keldrick Falk, I am going to lose my mind. Because then I have to watch as Keldrick Falk blossoms into an NFL star on a division rival, and I have to play them twice a year. That one is going to take me off. I already feel it in my bones. I feel in my bones it's going to happen. That I'm going to have to see who I've loved seeing him grow at Auburn, and I have to see him grow even more on a division rival and him go off. That one's going to hurt me if that happens. So I don't know. I'm just why in the world is the Oregon offensive line just going to pull a face mask? Dude, you're so stupid. You're so dumb. And the game's pretty much over at this point in time, but I'm just thinking about the possibilities what could happen. It's not even that's going to happen. It could happen. The possibilities that like the people that I love are going to be playing for the enemy. That's hurtful. Third down and 11 from like the 3 yard line because the offensive line decided he wants to pull a face mask. Dropping the pass, throws a deep bomb, and D'Angelo Pond he caught that ball. Pond says he dropped it, but I don't know. I guess he caught it. That's incredible. That's incredible, number 11. Pons is a dude. He has great, like, say, he gets beat, but then he, like, still plays it well. He technically got burnt, though. Let's see here. The ball didn't hit the ground, did it? I guess not. First down 10 for Oregon. I guess they're doing a review right now. Yeah, that one's gonna hurt if that happens. That one's gonna hurt a lot more than um, yeah, that one's gonna hurt a lot more if that happens than the Xavier Watts. Because I love Xavier Watts, but I love Kelly Fox so much more. Because one, he's from my team, so like I've seen him grow over the last 3 years, and he's such a great leader. And if Cameron Jordan retires, or even if he doesn't, he just basically just Cameron Jordan just like mentors him for a year, like he's going to be just a replacement for Cameron Jordan, and he's going to terrorize the NFC South for over 10 years. So again, I do not want that to happen, but I have a strange feeling in my gut that it's going to. So I'm calling it now. I'm calling it now. Keldrick Falk to the Saints at pick 8. So if it happens, you can come back to this blowout game that we're talking about something totally different because there's nothing to add. Well, Keldrick Falk is a Saint. Scenario for a falling for a player for them to go to a rival makes me low key glad I'm not very invested in college football. Yeah, yeah. It's now there's times you can be wrong though, because I've technically been wrong. Like I fell in love with A.T. Perry. Do you know who A.T. Perry is? Probably not, because like I said you didn't watch Wake Forest. But I fell in love with A.T. Perry and Kobe Turner at the same exact time. They're both the Wake Forest same exact time. Kobe Turner goes on to be an amazing player for the Rams, so I fell in love with him. He's been great for them. But then I also fell in love with A.T. Perry because, like, his jump ball ability, his big body. Now I was like, well, he could probably work in the NFL. That one was definitely missed by me. So, but he got drafted by the Saints, and I was livid because I was like, he's gonna be good, and then I was wrong. So I was glad I was wrong, but he was definitely a pre-draft uh, darling, I guess that's what people call. But like, yeah, no, I liked him. What's the other one that got drafted by a rival? Oh, Emeka Buka. Oh my gosh, that one took me off too. So last year, Emeka Buka could have came out, and I thought because the Panthers had a 33 overall pick, and Emeka Buka like was still seen as like mainly like a number two guy, that I was like, well, I think he could be amazing. I really like Emeka Buka. So again, I had basically like the draft crush, the draft darling, whatever you want to call it, on Emeka Buka for over a year because I thought he was coming out. So like at first, for a whole bunch of the draft, like the pre-draft process, I was like, oh wow, I want to get Emeka Buka. And he goes to the freaking Bucks, and I watch him twice a year. So yeah, that was another one too that I was like dead set on. That I said he was going to be amazing, and he has been. Um, so yeah, no, like it's happened a bunch of times, and especially recently. So again, I'm a little concerned. I'm not really a little concerned. I'm very concerned about falling in love with more players, and then they just go to a rival team. So yeah, it's fun with college football though. Like it is very fun to root for a college football team because the games, in my opinion, are more exciting for college football. They have a lot more potential of like coming back, a lot of crazy games, that kind of stuff, compared to NFL. Um, that's just based upon like, the fact that like I've just watched a whole bunch of college football, for throughout my lifetime. It's very funny the defensive lineman's eye for the Indiana is like kind of poking up in the air. But yeah, no. When the transition from college football to NFL and you find a play that you really, really like, and then they don't go to shotgun formation, gonna be a hands to the run back who's gonna get up to about the 35, up to about the 31-yard line, and it'll be fourth down and one. You know what's crazy? I just thought about. So obviously, it's never going to happen. But with the kind of love that I have for some of these prospects, and I'm sure that some of the love that other people also have for some of the prospects. Can you imagine if there's like a reality TV show, kind of like a Bachelor, Bachelorette, where like you're trying to they're going to be drafted obviously, and it's like formatted as such as like you're trying to figure out if like, oh, are they gonna get drafted, are they gonna go to the person I want them to go to. The pitch is awful, it doesn't even get the first down, turnover on downs the 32-yard line. Crazy. But I don't know why I thought about that, but I was like, the amount of like investment that I would probably put into that reality TV show because it'll be football related, but also how much I would like fall in love with the prospect because you see his journey, you see his personality, you see those kind of stuff like that right there would probably do better than Hard Knocks. If you can find like legitimately, if you can find the right people for the show, and just follow them around and follow and like basically follow like their life stories. Wait, how has that not been? How is that? I know like certain players like their journey to the NFL, that kind of stuff. But like, how is a bigger program not taken on that yet? How am I just now thinking that up and thinking of like how genius that is? Because like, imagine, dude, like imagine, oh my gosh, imagine the fact that you had like, who would I want to say? Who would have been a great journey? Um, who fell in the draft this year? Nick Scorton. Nick Scorton fell in the draft technically. Like a lot of people thought he was first round pick. I thought he was first round pick. Slips to the second round pick. Like seeing his like him talking, him all the stuff that he does, following him along, and then seeing how going through the pre-draft process, going through all this kind of stuff. Obviously, like, there has to be like some stuff we can't say, obviously, but like seeing the more ins and outs of like what goes on uh, with a prospect, and honestly, a whole lot of prospects would want to be in this because do again, I don't watch reality TV shows. But what I do know about reality TV shows is that a lot of times you don't go on there to win. You go on there to get more subscribers, to get more people watching your stuff, so you get bigger sponsorship deals. So if you are a content creator as a football player, why would you not want to go on this to be able to have more people see your story, for more people to be able to go to your YouTube channel, be able to like see you? How has no one thought about this? Like I know certain teams do it themselves, but like you know what I'm saying? Like, am I wrong? Is that not like a good idea? I might be wrong, but like I don't know. That seems like a good idea in my book of having like a reality TV show with you following the college football players as they're either as they're going through their senior season, like their last stop going for the NFL, like so just seeing different perspectives. Now that could do well. That could even do well because like not only would you carry it over uh, college football season and seeing how sometimes their stories intersect, but how maybe their stories intersect in the off season as far as like maybe them training together, maybe them like maybe them going against each other like for a playoff game. Oh, how is that? How has this not happened yet? How has this not happened yet? I'm having a breakthrough while Oregon's breaking down the side of the road, can't find a way to have some kind of offense. Literally, there's nothing else for me to talk about. It's like on commercial break, anyways. But like, how is that? How has this not happened yet? Unfortunately, I'm gonna go to the bathroom again. This is ridiculous. Again, I feel awful, and I'm trying to push through this game, but it's been an awful game. Because I don't quit. But I'm gonna go to the bathroom again. I'm gonna sleep a whole lot tomorrow. Goodness gracious. Oh gosh. Hey, the director. Yeah, bro. It's not looking great. You know what else not looking great? My health. I feel awful again. It hurts to sit down. Um, yeah, I'm fighting for my life every single time that I've gone to the bathroom. I have to do Lamaze breathing because I feel like I'm about to explode. So again, don't feel great. But trying to power through because I said I was going to stream this game, so I'm going to stream this game. Um, this is the second game. We have to go through the third because I have to keep on trying to go through this game. Because good lord, it's awful. Uh, Manuel, Zoe wasn't here for your Brian Branch question, but you already had that moment like Rossi's. Yes, I did love Xavier Watts, I Notre Dame, and then the Falcons took in third round. Yep. Sorry if I'm just repeating what Ryan said. If he's already answered, going to be a quick throw to Surratt, who is going to not Surratt, sorry, Sadiq, who's going to lose a yard. Again, this is awful. Yes. But like I said, no problem there, Emmanuel. Yes, you can revel in the fact that you indeed have one of my draft crushes. And like I said, either Falcons are going to take Surratt or they're going to take Bernard, who I love as well. And then Saints are going to take, Keldrick Falk. I just know it. And I'm with awful. I'm it's going to be I don't know, maybe it might do well for the channel if the clip blows up. Who knows? But, yeah. No. All right, empty set, trips to the left, third down to six, and he's going to get belted, almost picked off, fourth and six. Again, what is there for me to commentate on? This game is over. 13-12 left, and it's 42 to 15. So again, yeah. But yeah, the director. This is um, Indiana. So another red team. So not your Oklahoma Sooners, but still a red team making it to the national championship game. Oh gosh, gotta punt the ball away and delay game. Why? I don't know. Why do you want to have delay game? Literally, you're so deep in your own side of the field. Your punter is in the end zone. Uh, Indiana, if you could just have like the longest sustained drive we've ever seen, like let's like just run the ball so much that the clock just like goes away. Block punt, picked up at about the 6 yard line. So Indiana, it starts off in great field position. So as soon as I wanted something to happen, it ain't gonna happen because there's no way you're gonna give up 3 minutes on the goal line. So that's not happening. Great. Uh, we're gonna have to extend this game even more. I know it's only 10:30 my time, but still, I want this game to be over so I can, hopefully die in peace. I like I said, I feel awful. I'm assuming it's the food. Like I said, I'm assuming it's the food, so I will never go to the place. Um, like I said, I normally don't eat during work, which is I know not great. Obviously, not great to not eat for the whole entire day while you're teaching kids, because like I said, sometimes they test your patience. But that's how I normally do it. And but my coworker was just like, she was gonna get some food on her break, and she was like, "You want me to get you something?" I was like, well, I obviously want to pay you. She's like, no, no, no. I was like, no, I want to pay you. She's like, no, I'm just gonna just get something. I was like, all right. So then she got me something, and she wouldn't let me pay her, which I felt really bad about. It's like I want to pay her, and she wouldn't let me pay her. But it tasted good. It was like some like spicy chicken fingers, um, and some pretty good green beans and all that kind of. And it was just green beans, spicy chicken fingers, roll, and basically you had honey mustard. It was hot, but it tastes good. Like so, that's why I don't mind like too hot if it still tastes good. But yeah, no, I'm Greg McElroy is looking at him with Kurt Signetti. Um, but yeah, no, but yeah, I feel awful. I feel absolutely awful. Um, so yeah, Third and goal for Indiana at 3 again. Cursing me is like complaining about something. Clock time at 1 second. So 11:41 left to go in the fourth quarter. It'll be third and goal for Indiana. Like I said, it is what it is. I want to be like more hype, but like also like I feel awful, and also this game is like downright despicable. So it's like how can I be hyped up for it? This was a severe letdown. Great for Indiana, but still let down. Oh man, what I would give to have the game we had last night again. Ah, that was such a great game. Such a great game. Unfortunately, almost had to lose because they had to buy the shirt. I don't mind the shirt though that Emmanuel picked out. Like I said, it'll be nice. It'll be getting here. I think actually wild card weekend. But I'm just gonna. Oh, then my mind goes blank. Oh, uh, am I rambling from before about the reality TV show? Is that a good idea? Like if I pitched that, like if I made a short form video and making that pitch that someone needs to make a show about that, does that sound like a good idea, or am I just being delusional because I feel terrible and I have bad ideas? I don't know. I thought it might be a good idea, but I have no idea. But basically, just like and I was thinking about it also while I was trying to survive on the toilet, full on Lamaze breathing, full on like clenching the side of the toilet bowl. Again, I know I'm being very descriptive, but I like I said, that's kind of fight that I'm having to have right now. While I was doing that, I was thinking of like the more in detail. Like, let's just say that one of the person is the newly acquired Byron Brown to the Auburn Tigers. Like, dude was a star at USF. His coaches really come to Auburn, and he decides to follow to Auburn. And so you can go through like his story from the beginning of like showing him a younger dude like trying to make it, trying to building up in the USF, becoming like one of the few quarterbacks who's passed for 3,000, rushed for 1,000, and then follow his path in the SEC, where can he be the one who's bringing Auburn back to winning ways? Like that would be a great story. Could you talk about like a linebacker from like a Big Ten team of someone who's like trying his best to lead his team to a national title or something like that? Like that could be fun. I'm just in case you're wondering, any pretty singing good. So 48-15. So yeah, Last right. Again. I'm getting sad. I'm getting sad because now I'm gonna keep on falling in love with them when we do when talk about the wide receiver prospects. I'm gonna have them high. So that'll be another one too. Why not? Why not do a double whammy and get Keldrick Falk and then get Sarai in the second? Why not? Yeah, 49-15, 11:36 left to go in this fourth quarter. Yeah, see about that. Like him would be a good one. A linebacker, either from like a smaller school or something like that. I think it'd be fun to have you have that underdog mentality of someone from like a smaller school. I know you want to have a selling point, so obviously you have to have some big dogs. Like you could have like a star quarterback from one of the good teams um, that seem that they're going to be trying to make a run for the national championship game to be like a big selling point, but then still have storylines of people who are either on middling teams or people who are trying to fight for their way to try to get in the NFL. So they're like trying to prove themselves. Like that would be great storylines throughout the college with a long production for sure. If there's just like a whole bunch of time and money into a college football player go, from different teams. Like I just think that will do well. Sadiq loses 2 yards on a tight end screen. Now Oregon Ducks football season over with. Oh yes, Parker. Yes, yes, for sure. It could work, but also if I were making the show, I'd be slightly concerned about the pressure this might put on a player and the dumb things college age guys might get up to say. That's fair too. That's fair too. Like I said, I think that's also another thing too. Like you have to like pick the. That's what I'm saying. You gotta pick the right guys. Like I wouldn't pick like just like all the stars. I wouldn't pick like all the stars because obviously, like I said, you've got you've got a whole bunch of different personalities, but like with the way that obviously the thought process is like all these star players, all they do is like they're the greatest things since sliced bread. Da, 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 da. But if you find the right guy, like for instance, like Fernando Mendoza, like Mendoza right here. Okay, so I was Mendoza. People love him because his a natural leadership and like his personality. He's the star quarterback on Indiana. Like that's what I'm saying is that those kind of players that are not only on great teams but also have great personalities. So you yourself, if you're going to make the show, have to make sure you get the right people. So get the right people that's not going to be causing a whole bunch of mess. For instance, on the receiver show, like you're going with like wide receivers who are typically divas, but you pick the best people you possibly can. You pick Devonte Adams, who everyone loves Devonte Adams. You pick Justin Jefferson because all the young people love Justin Jefferson, and Justin Jefferson does everything he's supposed to. You pick uh, Amon-Ra St. Brown because he was the underdog that's now coming to his own, and now you have a lot of people who have the underdog mentality with him. And you pick George Kittle because who doesn't love George Kittle's personality? So you see what I'm saying? Like in my mind, I'm thinking like if you are making the show, I'm picking the people that have shown no like I'm doing my due diligence, make sure I'm picking people who have no kind of bad background, like no arrest record, no nothing, like known as being a leader, all that kind of stuff. Someone who fits in the storyline that I want. For instance, like either being a from a small town that needed the big break, whether that be the maybe the person who needed a second chance, that kind of stuff. Like the great storylines, but finding the right people, I think it could work. Because like young people obviously make mistakes for sure, but you'll limit that if you get the right type of people. The right type of people. I think it'd probably be more popular, and as long as the mental health of the players is being taken account care of, I think we're great. That's fair too. Because you gotta be careful of what you film too. Because you don't want basically usually have a bad game, they can go after not a good game. Yeah, 9:03 left to go in the fourth quarter, so 49-15. Not great. Not great. Was Lee Corso a good coach? His name sounds familiar, and he game day before last year, before this year. He was always the one that did the headgear pick. So he's tomorrow's our day, Ryan. Hey, I believe Dobie. I believe in both of us. I believe in miracles. But yeah, so Lee Corso was the one who did the headgear pick for the college game day. So any college game day that you watched, he was the old guy that put the headgear on. He was a decent coach, not a great coach, but like if I remember correctly, he was Indiana, Florida State, and where else did Lee Corso coach? He goes somewhere else, but from what I remember, because I've looked it up before, but I'm pretty sure he was just like a decent coach, but he was just known as being like a like be like the coach, and then you had Desmond Howard be the wide receiver perspective. So there's a lot more offense, I think. I don't remember if Lee Corso was a defensive coach or not, but that crew lasted pretty much until Lee Corso retired. So over 20 something years, not really 20 something years, 15 something years, because Desmond Howard didn't come in until when did Desmond Howard join College Game Day? I don't know. like I said, Lee Corso was a dude. He was the guy that said, "Not so fast, my friend." Like I said, if you know that tagline, phrase, that's Lee Corso, and put on the headgear of what team he picked for the college game day. That was always Lee Corso as well. Yes, he retired last year. Nick Saban kind of took over for that coaching role, and yeah, no, that's Lee Corso, but I don't know. I might just drop. I might not posting a potential video idea of what people could do because I don't have that kind of access. I definitely don't have that kind of access, and also I wouldn't know what I was doing to make that show good. So, but yes, Dobie, that I believe in the Bears, and I don't want to reveal because I don't want the people who were in the pickles with to believe, but I'm going to pick the Panthers. I know it's crazy. I know it is. I know it's very crazy. But I am going to be picking the Panthers. I want to believe. I want to believe the fact that the Panthers did not have four of our starting players on defense. Okay, we didn't have Turk Wharton. We didn't have J.C. Horn. Again, to have J.C. Horn, and both wide receivers play for Los Angeles. We didn't have Trevon Merring, our starting safety, and somebody else we didn't have. So basically, like I remember there was four people that were out. So again, we did not, we're not at full strength. Oh, it was Trevin Wallace. That's right. It was Trevin Wallace, the linebacker. He also was out. So again, we have four starters on defense out, and we still forced two turnovers, and we still did our job. So again, I feel kind of confident that they're going to feel disrespected that it's a 10 point spread. But the fact that we already beat the team, that's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy. So a little bit disrespectful. And like I said, the Rams are not coming in this game like on a hot streak or whatever. They lost to us. They lost to the Falcons. And they almost lost to the Cardinals. So like, am I shivering in my boots that that I'm going to be seeing the Rams run roughshod on the defense? No. And Kevin Dotson, your starting guard, is out, and Derek Brown already had a field day in the first game, and now he's going to have Turk Ward to help him. So again, why would I be concerned with a 10 point spread when I know what I saw with my two eyes the game before and the context for today or tomorrow? So again, no. Indiana's running back bounces off to the right side, gets it at the 46-yard line, first down 10. I'll be rooting for the Panthers and Bears tomorrow for sure. I'll be wearing my orange and blue socks. And they bring you luck to the Bears, W. For sure, for sure. Um, Emmanuel, good luck, Dobie. Picking the Bears as my playoff team this year, and I guess someone has to win the Rams versus Panthers if they must. Yes, they must. Do I like Kyle Whittingham? So Kyle Whittingham, the Michigan head coach, long time Utah head coach, basically took over after Urban Meyer left to go to Florida, which was back in 2000 and is that 3 or 4? I was 4. It was 2004 as Utah. Indiana's running back gets up to the 30-yard line, first down 10 for Indiana. I'm still going to kind of commentate, but anything here and there. But Kyle Whittingham takes over. I think, like I said, since 2005, he's been the head coach. So for over 20 years, 20 years he's been the head coach. Then they moved in a different direction. It wasn't really a firing, more so he kind of ran basically how he's describing is he kind of ran his course. Which I feel is kind of fair. It's kind of fair. He kind of ran his course. So Utah underneath his watch, obviously, do they make the highest of highs? No. But they get pretty daggone close, especially when Tyler Huntley was a quarterback. Yes, indeed, Tyler Huntley, the Pro Bowler himself, was the quarterback for Utah when Utah almost went to the college football playoff. However, they lost to Oregon in the Pac-12 championship game with Justin Herbert being the quarterback, I believe, the first time. That's when Justin Herbert won that game. They became the Big Ten representation. Went to the Rose Bowl and had an amazing game as well. Um, but anyway, back to what I was saying. I think Kyle Whittingham's the best possible choice that Michigan could have had right now because one, you've got to reestablish your culture because of all stuff's happening right now. Two, you're getting an older guy who's more established, who's also like not going to be like you're not looking for a forever hire. You're looking for clean this mess up, make it look nice while we're still being competitive, so that the next person who comes in is like, oh, it's not a dumpster fire. Okay, great, I'll take over for Kyle Whittingham. And then thirdly, at the same time, like I think his style fits Michigan really well as being a hard nosed kind of team. Is what Kyle Whittingham established at Utah. I mean, and also Utah used to terrorize USC, so I like to see Michigan versus USC in the upcoming season. And that's going to be Black with a touchdown, so it's going to be 55 to 15, 5:13 left to go in the fourth quarter. Again, I'm kind of commentating, but it's like I'll commentate. There's like a 20 plus run, which is happening a lot now. But yeah, so went 5 plays, 65 yards, 3 minutes, 7 seconds off the clock. So again, 55 to 15. 55 to 15. Again, crazy. There's nothing like there's nothing really add. There's nothing really add. But also, Francisco Fernando Mendoza, why are you not trying to let your brother get a little action here? Let him get a try of throwing a pass or handing the ball off the national championship game. That's not being a team player. Big Bro's trying to take the spotlight. Um, yeah, I like him. I like him. Do I think that he's going to take Michigan to a national championship game? No. Do I think he could take him to a Big Ten championship game? Maybe, possibly. Notice how I say take, not win. So I'll a little caveat. Yes. Mendoza, 17 for 20, 177, 5 passing touchdowns. 56 to 15. 56 to 15. Uh, did you get food poisoning? Is that what you're sick with? I'm assuming so. Uh, because I feel awful, and it kind of happened a couple of hours after I ate my food. So I'm assuming that's what it is. So I just won't. I will not go to that place again. I had never heard of that place before, but she was getting some food, and she wanted. She was like, "Hey, you want something?" Like, yeah, sure. It tasted good, but I don't feel great. Is Indiana football going to be good next year or not? I would assume so. Because here's the reason why. Look, some fans are taking pictures with Mendoza's family. That's nice. I would assume so because, for one, yes, Mendoza's gone, but guess what? They got another Mendoza. They got the brother. Do I think that the brother is good? I haven't seen a lot from him, but I still think that Indiana will be fine. Now, Indiana does have a tough schedule, if I remember correctly. I think they have a tougher schedule. So I think that Indiana will be they'll be worse than they are this year, which then again is like I said, kind of easy to do because so far this game's been this season's been amazing for Indiana. So I don't think they'll be as good. But do I think that Indiana will just be like, oh, just bottom out? No. I think Indiana has a shot of being 10-2, and so they'll be like trying to get into the playoffs. Oh, I gotta move my controller. So they'll be trying to get in the playoffs. I should look back at their schedule. All right, so let's go ahead and pull that up. So let's go do that. Just kind of show you because like I said this game's over. So Indiana 6. There we go. All right. So Indiana starts off easy. So you got North Texas, Howard, West Kentucky, Minnesota, Northwestern. So easy 5-0 right there. Then you got Ohio State. You got them at home. USC at home. At Michigan, at Nebraska, and then at Washington that I think could be good. So again, actually looking at this right now, 11-1, 10-2 would still be the expectation. So again, you still think they'll be competing for the Big 12, Big 10, and competing for a national title. It might be. It must be Ohio State's schedule that I was thinking about. Maybe that's it. To look it up before, apparently. Show me the. Here we go. Yep, that's what it was. Okay, so Ohio State has at Texas, at Indiana, at Iowa, at Nebraska, Illinois, Michigan, Oregon, at USC. That's what it was. That's what it was. I think there's a chance that Ohio State could miss out on the playoffs. That's my bold strategy for next year. Bold strategy for next year. Strategy, observation, bold prediction. Because that is a gauntlet of a schedule. Excuse me. Dump it off to the running back up to the 50, up to the 45-40. Out of bounds. Gets the first down. Great for you. 302. 302 left to go in the fourth quarter, 56-15. But yeah, like I said, that is so actually Indiana. Okay, so we got a lot more home games. I'll go. I'll go incomplete, almost a hospital pass. Literally, like almost like kill their wide receiver. Come on, like Dante Moore literally has played awful. He has played downright horrendous, and like if you're the Jets, are you going to be taking him? I would assume so, but you never know. Shotgun formation, run back to his left. 2:28 left to go in the fourth quarter. It's a terrible play. It's a terrible play. Basically, it's like a little dump off to the wide receiver coming in the speed, like a. Again, this is just so bad. It's a 2 yard loss. It's third down and 12. I mean, what more could I possibly say besides complete and utter domination? 2 minute warning, third down 12 when we come back. And this barn burner of a blank game. Does he have chalk? Or is Mendoza's hands that white? Like it looks like chalk. I'm pretty sure it's chalk. Is Georgia Bulldogs football going to be good next year or not? Uh, they'll have Gunnar Strong come back, which he's been good. Obviously, they won't have Zachariah Branch, which will be interesting to say the least. You're hoping that some of the people can be able to step up. So CJ Allen will be gone, but let me look at their schedule. That should definitely impact how I feel about them. I want basketball. What are you talking about? Football. Football. So let's see here. So Georgia, easy 3-0. Tennessee State, West Kentucky, at Arkansas. Uh, Oklahoma. Wait, why is it? Okay, that's weird. Why it looks like that. So Oklahoma, Vandy, at Bama, then Auburn. Don't love having to be after Alabama, but it happens. The Florida games, like I said, I don't know why they have this. It's literally the biggest cocktail party in the South. I think is what's called at Ole Miss, so that could be interesting for Georgia. Missouri can always cause Georgia some problems. So, like I said, Park, in case you're watching, like I said, I know how much Missouri used to cause them problems. At South Carolina, and then versus Georgia Tech. So again, I think Georgia goes 10-2. I think they drop two. It's a little bit difficult schedule. Obviously, I'm hoping that Ole Miss kind of keeps where they were before. They still got to play at Alabama, which yes, you did beat them in the SEC championship game, but typically it's still been a little bit harder thing for y'all to beat Alabama. Gosh, I would hope to with Auburn could beat Georgia. I know it's not going to happen, but that would be amazing. Um, and they might lose to a team they probably shouldn't have. Yeah, Georgia has a chance of being good. Sorry for vanishing, but I'm back. My roommates locked themselves out. Oh, that sucks. No. Oh, I mean, not much has really changed. If I'm being honest, it's like 2 minute warning. It's winding down the clock. It's Indiana just absolutely curb stopping uh, Oregon. So on this third and 12 from the 41-yard line, this 56-15, and did it work to call timeout? Yes, he did. Why are we dragging this out? Why? Third and 12. Is Penn State? I think they'll be decent. I think obviously like they're having a whole bunch of recruits leave. They're having a whole bunch of people transferring, and then they take what's it called? And then they get Matt Campbell, so they get a lot of the Iowa State guys. That's definitely helpful. But like at same at time, Nakamura throws it off. That's going to be first down. 30 to 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Face mask. That's not a face mask? Bro, are these not, are the refs just like, we're done throwing flags? Um, you have to have reasonable expectations for a first year. Um, obviously, you're hoping that, like, oh, well, we're hoping to do, like, it's an easy face mask. How is that not, how's it not called? I think the ref is just like, we're just done with this at this point. But yeah, the fact that you're bringing a whole bunch of people in, you're hoping that you can have instant success, which is a possibility, but Penn State at the same time, like I said, you're in a hard division. You're in a hard division. We're playing like a whole bunch of Big Ten teams. Actually, just look at Penn State's schedule. See, it's definitely not going to be as hard as Ohio State's. I mean, that one I remember now. I don't know why I thought it was Indiana's, but yeah. Um, Penn State 2026 schedule. There we go. All right, so Marshall, Temple, Buffalo Bulls are the Bills at Maryland, so not too bad of a top of a four. Then at Michigan. Some of these are TBA. Why do y'all have those TBA? Y'all need to have them done. Anyways, you got at Maryland, at Michigan, at Northwestern, Minnesota, Purdue, Rutgers, USC, Wisconsin, and Washington. Oh, wait, actually, no, they don't have that bad of a schedule at all. You got a home game against USC. Yes, at Michigan sucks, but bro, Penn State, yeah, Penn State should make the playoffs with this schedule. At Washington, like I said, that's kind of hard, but like you can't tell me that you oh well I can't make 10-2. You can make 10-2 with this schedule. You for sure. Bro, this ticks me off. That's an easy schedule. Why do you get to play Rutgers and Purdue? You get to play two of the worst Big Ten teams. No offense, but y'all definitely are. Um, Wisconsin hasn't been good in quite some time. Like you get a home game against USC. You go to Northwestern, that shouldn't be a problem. At Michigan is definitely a problem. But at the same time, who cares? At Washington is a little bit of a problem. But, bro, that's ridiculous that they got that easy of a schedule. Man, I get not wanting to watch this game anymore, but for some of the Oregon players, this will be their last time playing college football, maybe even football at all, for sure. Even if this is a blowout, their lives have been built around football since probably they were kids. Until the clock hits zero, they can finish out living their dreams, even if the game is a nightmare. Exactly. It's touchdown, by the way, by Oregon. So in the waning seconds, Oregon gets more than 15. So again, that's great for them. Like I said, like a whole bunch of more so just kind of hugging for Oregon. That's I think that's what I think what you've been kind of talking about there, Emmanuel. Like it sucks. This is going to be the end for them. Blowout game, loss. But you had a great season. You only lost twice, but it was against the same exact opponent. Unfortunately, just could not get past Indiana. Yeah, like I said, it's going to be a 56-22 game with 22 seconds left to go in the game. There you go. But I don't know. Like I said, um, and but I'm thinking that Penn State should make the playoffs. At first, I was skeptical. Like, yeah, it's like a first-year head coach, but it's also Matt Campbell, who's done amazingly, and and it's a not a Charmin soft, but it's a pretty good, pretty decent schedule that you should be able to run through. Should be keyword. Do I think they'll make it far? No, but you'll make the playoffs, which is better than you did this year, and in the first year of a new head coach. College football playoff. All right, and it is going to be a kickoff for a what's that word? Touchback. And right now, Johnson is crying on the shoulder of his coach. I mean, that's the thing, dude. Like, it's over. That's why I still understand. I get like Notre Dame being like emotional and like them giving it to the they're giving it to the fans. They're giving it to the fact like, oh well, you know um oh shoot, what was I talking about? Well, I just lost my train of thought. I'm also very tired, but I'm trying to know what I was going to say. But look at Indiana's fans, dude. I mean, like, you are witnessing history. You are witnessing history. First time you've ever even made a national championship game. You'll be heavily favored. Like, that's what's crazy. 56-22 is the final. Um, I really don't have anything else to add. I'll probably end it soon because, like I said, I'm probably going to go straight to bed. And I hope it's better tomorrow. Honestly, I hope it's better tomorrow. Woo! Really, most wins in the first 2 years of school since the AP poll started for Curtis Mini. All right. First semifinal game was amazing. This one not so much. But Indiana versus Miami is indeed going to be the national championship game. Um, the number one seed versus the seed that people didn't think should get in. That would be the storyline. Um, can Indiana win their first ever national title game? We'll check and see. But thank you so much for watching. Is Virginia football going to be good this year, next year or not? I don't know. Obviously, I think Jane Frank is a good head coach. I've checked the schedule, but I'm about to end it because I feel like I'm shutting down right now. But again, I will be back tomorrow to stream both games, and then I'll be streaming all three on Sunday, and then I'll be streaming on Monday as well. So I have a full full weekend of streaming games. So I'll look forward to seeing y'all then. In the meantime, I hope y'all have a great rest of your day.